Afternoon and 42 points. I reckon Mitch Day could have a day out here today.
His time of ground, I reckon
this has got half a dozen written all over it for the big fella. It could be a very, very entertaining afternoon if he gets his hands on the ball. Umpires waiting for final tick-off from the timekeepers and captains, and we'll get things underway here at the Gordon TAFE. I'm not exactly sure what the delay is. Everybody's off the ground. I'm not sure they're waiting exactly for 2:10 or not.
Good to see how head-to-head's gone straight to each other, Jace.
Yes, they have. Well and truly right in the middle of the ground.
Absolutely, they have.
Nice little Wombat Gully plant farm. Galen Minari on the near side wing and Alex Beardsall as well in the long sleeves for St Albans. We're underway. Here's Jason Doherty, first quarter for Harvey Norman.
Jack Borchard for Lara goes up against Mitch Hovey. Borchard gets it down. Free kick found for a hold straight away. The umpire has picked one out. Is it going to Lara? I think it is. And so from the middle, the Cats go towards inside 50. Day comes out with a big hang to start with. Couldn't take the mark though. Needs some support. Oh, there was a bit of a drag in there from St Albans in the last line of defence. It might have been Jack Speed, and the umpire has paid it. It's going to be holding the ball. So free kick coming. O'Meara for Lara gets it inside 50. Handball comes back out. There's Minari from 40. Right foot kick towards the southern end. He's missed it to the near side and through for one behind. Took 30 seconds of this game to get that score.
Pretty clear intent, isn't it? They're getting the ball and their heads on a swivel, and their ball movement is quick and swift at the moment for the Lara Cats.
Kicking into the left back pocket, looking for a marking option and finding one. And it's Donegan who's marked. Donegan goes short, back to whence it came, to the top of his defensive goal square. Chance the Super Saints just control the tempo of the footy. Short kick is okay, and mark taken there by Bailey Cootes. You can't miss with that shock of red hair. He goes short to Brogdon, and Brogdon marks 40 from his defensive goal. So this is the tempo that Alex Tatora was talking about, just being, I suppose, patient with the footy. Wants to take on the man on the mark. Brogdon does so. Now goes down the corridor, sending a long ball, looking for a marking option. Won't find one in Saltalamaki, but the ball hits the deck. Handball on the up, came from Evans. But Lara's going to turn it over. Minari, fit of the fumbles, time to retrieve the situation, but couldn't take it back. And now Beardsall in traffic, a little handball on the up, tried to find Brady Summers. He had a fit of the fumbles as well. Evans, Saltalamaki, shrugged the shoulders, drove the ball long, but didn't get enough purchase on the kick. And then Elliott, could have been paid the mark, wasn't. Cleaned up by Weagle, and Lara will get out of trouble.
They will. They go towards half back. Borchard takes the mark uncontested, wants to draw a player and handball over the top. It was a bit of a slow handball to Reynolds. He gets it towards centre wing. No mark taken off hands there. Gunther coming out. He couldn't take the mark in front, and it will be a boundary throw in centre wing. Broadcast side of the Gordon TAFE Oval this afternoon, western side of the ground.
Young backup ruckman Jason Tomicic has got the job on Haley Elliott down forward.
So throw in now, centre wing Hovey and Borchard. The umpire's found over the shoulder, free kick. And it's called advantage play on. So Donegan got it to Russell, who runs through the middle, takes a bounce, then goes towards full forward. It's a good kick too. Just out into space for Saltalamaki. Wants to play on quickly. His short little kick is okay and finds Angus Evans, who will shoot for goal from 30 out directly in front.
Just a bit of a throwback to the old days. Saltalamaki coming out on the lead for St Albans.
He's a much better player than his old man. You know that. We've said that many times. If you watch him come over
he'll walk over you again.
I know he will. So Angus Evans has the football, 30 out directly in front at the East Tech end of the ground. And a chance for first goal of the afternoon. He comes in now. He has shanked that, and that has missed nearly everything. It's off hands and through for one behind. So even things up here. The Super Saints, one behind each. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
Two gettable opportunities for each side.
Weagle with the kicking duties for Lara. Goes short into the right back pocket. His intended target was Reynolds. It was knocked away out of bounds. Good defensive play to see it out for St Albans to get a stoppage. Might have been Beardsall getting his hands on the ball, and we'll get a boundary throw in the left forward pocket. It might have been Dylan Johnston, actually. It was Johnston. So left forward pocket, boundary throw in. St Albans in attack. Borchard uncontested, wins it down to the front of the pack. Quick clearing kick with Stone, a high ball to the wing, looking for a marking option. Back with the flight, but not taking it was Gunther. He then tried to find it on the ground level, couldn't. And now Goodwin coming in, trying to hold things up over Brock McDonald, and we'll get a ball up. True centre wing, so 1-1. It's not the BBC World Service giving you the Charity Shield score from, from the English FA. Umpire tossing it into the air. Tapped down by Hovey, roving by Russell, who jams it on the boot and sends it long towards half forward. No mark taken. Knocked away low into the path of Johnston for St Albans outside of the right boot. The kick to the Saltala mark here, back with the flight. Couldn't complete the mark. Good defensive work coming from the Lara defence. Yelland was back there, and they'll try and clear the footy, and they will so successfully here through hands. Chance Reynolds gave it off to Weagle. Weagle's kicked to centre half. Oh, he turned it over, and Russell has cut across and marked, but maybe too far out to score. He's called to play on. A handball back into the corridor, put a teammate under pressure, and it's going to be a free kick, I reckon. Is it for a push or holding the ball? And either way, it's going to go to Lara and taken by Connor Linehan Cunningham, the former Werribee Centurion.
The ball goes. Dylan Jose gets it towards centre wing, punched away by Brogdon, close to the boundary line. Gunther can't get away from the tackle. That is a good tackle, and that is holding the ball. He's had it for a very long time. Gunther in front, and he has been, free kick's been paid against him, and that goes to Brock Reynolds. Just back end of centre wing on the outer side. Called to play on now, goes to the middle, and mark taken by Donegan, plays on quickly, goes just inside the centre square with the kick, and ball in dispute for Mullen over the top of it. Coming in and helping out there was Beardsall as well. Pack develops. The umpire says give it back to him. Minari was there as well, and he will ball it up right on the point of the centre square at half forward for St Albans. 1 point apiece, and we've played 6 minutes. Port Phillip Ferry's first quarter time clock.
Hovey and Borchard. Borchard winning the tap down. Ball at ground level. Clearing kick came out. Minari threw it on the boot towards centre half forward. Day, good support from behind coming from Miller. But Gunther's had time to drop the mark. Fumble again. Stepped out of the Coots tackle, snapped and kicked the first of the afternoon. Well, Tommy Gunther made very hard work of something that should have been fairly rudimentary, but in the end, he finishes nicely for a Lammy's Tavern goal of the day contender. The kick inside forward 50, and it just wouldn't sit up for him. He fumbled a couple of times, and he just stepped out of a Bailey Coots tackle, snapped and finished nicely. Kicks the first of the afternoon. It's taken 6.5 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, but a goal to Lara belongs to Tommy Gunther.
Sometimes that ball just doesn't do what you want it to do,
Sometimes it's easier when you've actually got pressure on you.
Exactly right. When you've got too much time, exactly.
That's right.
But, you know, there's tale of two ball movements here, and St Albans are really brave with their ball movement, hitting those shorts, and Lara obviously a little bit more longer and direct at the moment, as you should be, trying to get Mitch Day one-on-one. He was really good there, Mitch Day. His second effort was terrific.
So back to the middle, first major of the afternoon to the Cats. Borchard stands his ground against Hovey, goes back behind the Lara mids. They have to run back to try and get it. Goodwin was in there. Ball though moved forward by St Albans, and they can pick it up. Donegan into the pocket. Saltala can't take the mark. Elliott got ripped off the football, and his direct opponent there was Tomatic, who goes wide. The ball comes back towards half back. Only man flying for it was Coots. He can't get it though. Handball came away from McDonald, and back the other way. Borchard was going to go inside with the footy with the handball. He went outside in the end, and they just settled the play down. The Cats back end of centre wing. They just want to. They've turned the ball over though, and Donegan was able to sit in the hole and take the mark.
Donegan sends a kick towards a leading target and finds one, and it's Evans who's been lively early. Feeds off a handball to a runner going past in Brogdon, and now the flying shot towards goal. Will it have the carry? It will, but it'll fade off to the right and roll through for a behind. So a minor score there for the Super Saints. They cut the margin back to 5. They're 2 behinds. Lara 1-1-7 opening quarter of K-Rock football thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
So Weagle with the kicking in duties for Lara. Comes broadcast side to half back. Mark should have been taken by Robertson. Wasn't surrounded by St Albans players, and he dropped the football in the tackle. Worried out of it by Brogdon. Got it forward. Handball came back. Short little kick. Elliott couldn't take the one-hander. Basketball style, bounced it back to himself, then gets wrapped up, then loses the football. Play on the advantage. Evans in front, and he has missed. And has put it through for another behind. So peppering the goals, St Albans here, and keeping the forward pressure on. They are 3 behinds. Lara 1-1-7, Harvey Norman K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
Long kick in, sending it towards the outer side of the ground, looking for Jose. Good defensive spoil, knocked it into the path of McDonald. McDonald was slung without the footy. Umpire said play on. That'll be a high tackle and free kick for the Super Saints. I think Jordan Stone might be the recipient of that one. towards half-back, stretching and marking. Robertson's got it. He goes short on the bounce. He missed his intended target, and Cockrell will end up back with him. Weagle got involved. Now through hands, it's going to get back to Weagle. Weagle confronted under pressure, has turned it over, and that was good pressure from the Super Saints. Kick inside forward 50 from Summers. Intended target. Is there a mark?
It's touched off the boot, I think, but he got...
It was.
Got hammered very high by Hayden Elliott.
And Sam Purdy is the recipient of the free kick. About 30 from his defensive goal inside defensive 50.
He goes along with the kick towards Day. He's got to run at it. He's got a couple against him. Falls to the back of the pack. And the Cats try and work hard for it on centre wing. Ball from Hopper. Can he keep it in? He can, but Donegan was there and took it away for St Albans. He drills the ball towards half forward, out in front. Good mark too.
Wasn't it?
Was that Solomaki? It was. He took the mark and needs to handball it away quickly to McDonald. Running past, goes with a right foot kick high. Elliott sits up for him. He's got a couple against him. Falls back into the arms of Tomasic. And pack develops. St Albans mid-size forwards just keeping the pressure on at the moment. Deep forward. And they've got another ball up.
Getting enough looks at it inside their forward 50. They just haven't got the player at the other end to kick the goals.
From the ball up, Weagle will do the roving for Lara, but Brogden was there to worry him out of it. Then he won the footy before he was taken by Borchard, and we'll get a ball up. Still inside. Forward 50 for the Super Saints. 10.5 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock. Port Phillip Ferry says no better way to travel. Borchard winning the tap this time. Chance to clear. Cockrell involved. His handball, though, missed its target, and Weagle. Handball out of the pack was okay. Just cutting his way through now, sending a long ball Cockrell towards the wing. Was he tripped on the way, Brock Van Doren? I reckon he's going to win himself a free kick, so we'll get to call him for the first time this afternoon. You can't miss him with a very distinctive tattoo on his left thigh. He's got a couple of options short, and one of those was Cockrell. He missed him, and Minari didn't get to him. McDonald's dived on the footy for St Albans, been able to just shovel it out towards Beardsall. Cockrell came again, head over the ball. Done it right here, St Albans, just to hold up. In fact, in the end, they turned it over. Quick kick inside, forward 50 came from Bailey Etridge, looking for Day. Had to play defender from behind, and Pedron has cleaned up for St Albans. A handball back, Vermeulen on his left, kicks towards McDonald. And they've been able to hold tight there for the moment, the Super Saints, with McDonald going short with a kick to Donegan. Or rather, Russell, I should say.
Yeah, Russell's got it, just inside defensive 50, called to play on now. And he goes short with the kick, is okay. Had a couple of options there. Jack Speed was one of them. Still across defensive 50 though. So Lara set up well behind the football. He goes straight through the middle. It's a good kick too. Just tempo football, as we said. Vermeulen plays on from half back. Was going to go straight down the line. He elects to go further towards Reynolds on centre wing, who goes with the right foot kick out wide. Coots has taken the mark. Held up.
That's 50, isn't it?
It is, I think. It used to be anyway. The kick then comes from Waterston, and he goes out wide. They're just controlling the play here, St Albans. They're at right half forward now, and that might be Summers, I think, with the ball. He plays on, step off one step, the kick goes up high, front and centre. Brogden's there, handball over the top. Evans wrapped up straight away, not going anywhere. The umpire says it's too high, and we'll take a free kick. Angus Evans in the right forward pocket for St Albans.
Any matchups for Wombat Gully Plant Farm you're just keeping an eye on, Kirsch?
Dylan Jose and Brock McDonald's a nice one through that midfield as well. Obviously, Cockrell Coots is another one, and as you mentioned, that Tomasic and Elliott one's another nice one down forward.
So Angus Evans, who's had a lively start, he goes short to Russell. That was just 15. Get the measuring tape out. And Jake Russell has taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 35 out. And the angle a bit better than where Angus Evans was. So
holding to.
Yeah. Yes.
Whatever read the measuring tape. Holding to.
So Russell comes in.
Hello to our lawn bowls fans.
Yes. Commonwealth games are on. That's when they get their best.
Where's Rob Perella?
Their best stuff. He goes with a right foot kick. He might have pushed it across the face of goal. He has. And through for another behind to the home side. They are 4 behinds. They trail Lara 1-1-7. Harvey Norman, K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard.
Weagle short into the right back pocket. And chance to build with a long kick towards Day or Purdy from behind. Good defensive spoil came from Miller. Front of the pack, Purdy was able to take the footy, but he's going nowhere. Just hark back to Auckland 1990. Rob Perella, the taxi driver from Brisbane, with Lou Richards and Max Walker doing the commentary on the lawn balls.
Oh, wow.
As Birmingham gets underway. Pedron, a wonderful tap as he climbed high down to Donegan. Donegan looped a handball over the top to a teammate who was under pressure straight away. That was Matt Graham. But it's going to spill back towards Donegan, who's done a power of work. He's kicked high into the pocket. Weagle couldn't mark. He went to ground, but he found the ball because Summers went to ground, didn't get up quick enough, but he's clearing kick to the skill use. Coming outside defensive 50, hurting Lara. Donegan running his full measure, pushed as he kicked, I reckon, in the back. Or did he run too far? He ran too far, and he'll come back. And there'll be a free kick to Lara. But right now, a game that just hasn't reached any great heights. Almost 15 minutes gone in this opening term. 1-1-7 playing 4 behinds, and Newtown 40 leading North Shore 3.
So the Cats just work it across. Minari in the back pocket has it. He's just going to settle the play down. He wants to go wide with the kick, and does so now.
Make that 65-9 out at Windsor Park.
And he goes wide. It's okay. Sam Purdy's taken the mark at half-back. Chips the ball over the top onto centre wing. Sets a task. There's a 2-on-1 out there. St Albans have got the numbers. If they can get the ball away, they can't. In the end, there was some pretty good work done by Harvey, I think, out there for Lara, who just held the play up against 2 or 3 St Albans players, and we'll get a ball up right on centre wing on the outer side. We've played 15.5 in this first term. It's 7 plays 4.
Thanks to Port Phillip Ferries. A better way to travel. Climbing high in the ruck contest. That's going to be a free kick, I reckon. It might be Purdy giving it away. Jumped into Preston Pedron, there is not much of Preston Pedron. He needs a good feed.
Spend 2 weeks at my joint, he'll be right.
Yeah. Get him some KFC. He'll be okay.
Yep.
Pedron sending a long kick towards the scoreboard, but the mark taken out there, and it's a good mark taken out there by Harvey for Lara. He goes short with the kick and finds a marking target. Short kick over the top is okay, and Day presenting up. He's a long way from home. Mitch Day quickly wants to swing onto his right boot. Wants Josel Van Doren. Ball gets out the back. And running onto it and running into an open goal is Stone. It was all a little bit too easy in the end. The ball got out the back. Stone had the wheels going, and he's drilled it through at the Southern or Buckley's end of the ground, and the margin is now out to a very handy 9 points for Lara. 2-1-13, St Albans 4 behinds, and after St Albans have controlled so much of the play, one inside forward 54-8, and the goal comes for the Cats. There on the first quarter scoreboard, 2-1-13, St Albans 4 behinds.
Well, the difference was they actually maintained possession for the first time in the game. They hit 2 targets in a row by foot. That was the secret, and obviously Mitch Day could just wheel and go into the forward 50, and you get beaten out the back, that's how you're going to get beaten, by quick ball movement. So that was a lot better play by Lara Cats, because they've looked shaky by a foot. Their efficiency is very low, but that was a lot better play.
Back to the middle. Pedron up against Purdy. Pedron gets it down too. Roved. And was that a throw? Said the umpire. It was. And
Go boys, work hard.
Lara Hopper gave the ball away. He's motioning the umpire. He did airball it, but the umpire said, no, you threw it. But the ball holds up in the breeze, and the ball from Harvey out wide. They just chip the ball over the top, working around the corner. The Cats now go deep inside 50. Day runs across in front of Miller. Good mark. Hamlin Hanger, contender. He did well. Ben Miller was right there behind him, and he gave a nice little punch to the back of his head as Mitch Day took that mark as well. But he put the ball out in front, took the grab, and will shoot for goal from 50 out. Slight angle. Not without a show here, Mitch Day. He has been prone to the odd behind, though, this season. To get his day off on a good start, see if he can put this through. 50 out, comes in now, and he goes long, and he has missed to the near side. Through a minus score. They're going to 2-2-14, Lara. St Albans 4 behinds, and that's on the Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Kicking duties are with Reynolds, and he runs into the right back pocket. Sort of just had to steady himself to then kick, and he's not kicked well. He's put it straight into the waiting arms of Day. Probably too far from goal, so he swings a low ball inside forward 50. It's a skidding ball that actually gets back to Reynolds, who under pressure from Van Doren gets his kick on the bounce. Works out okay. Donegan shares it with Miller. Miller will send a kick towards the outer wing for St Albans. Went through the arms of Summers, but there's going to be a downfield free kick. He was dealt with after he kicked. It was Miller and Summers. has got it, right half back for St Albans. Boundary road side of the ground. Sends a kick towards the wing leading up. Elliott just couldn't gobble it up on the chest. It's off hands and out of bounds for a boundary throw. And just hasn't been able to complete his marks today, Hayden Elliott. He's had 2 or 3 attempts and
almost.
It has been very much on a couple of those inside forward 50. Lara, Archbishop Gisborne 2-2-14, may he rest in peace. St Albans are 4 behinds.
So throw in, out of side, centre wing. Hovey comes down against Purdy. And I was going to sit for Purdy. He couldn't take it with him, though. Needs to go back. Donegan puts the tackle on up towards Hovey. Oh, the don't argue, and then dropped the footy and then got rid of it. The umpire said no way, then 50, because he kicked the ball away after the umpire actually given the free kick. So Lara are going to bring it down to about 50 out from their goal at the southern end of the ground.
That must be so frustrating for Alex Tutora. Like,
just small things like that, isn't it? That can, they're coach killers, really. That's a small 50, just saying.
It's a very short 50.
That was in the centre wing to the 50.
So the ball is with Lenihan Cunningham, who goes with a Stephen Kernahan special there. That was terrible and out of bounds on the full. So not a great result for the Cats. And Brock Reynolds will take the resultant free kick once it comes back from the netball courts at the southern end of the ground.
We could have gone a bit further than that.
Further?
Just get rolling, over the Buckley's car park, I think that one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Reynolds, right back pocket with the footy, seeing a little bit of the ball in this opening quarter. Brocky Reynolds, just that awkward kicking style. He finds McDonald, who was so good in the clash earlier this year between the two clubs, kicked for a career high 4 goals. He only kicked 6 for the year. He wanted the corridor. It was risky for Coots. It was touched on the way through to him, so he had to get a handball away under pressure, and he turned it over, and the shot at goal is not bad. And sneaking it in at the left-hand goalpost is Connor O'Meara. So a nice finish from O'Meara, just his 3rd goal of the year. But it gives his team a 16-point buffer in time onto the first quarter. Lara now 3-2-20. St Albans 4 behinds, and it was just that skill execution coming back into Coots. Little hand on it, knocking it away, and all of a sudden they find themselves under pressure, turning it over, and a goal for Lara.
Well, it's going to be a bit like that, I think, today. You've got to take the opportunities you can when the opposition turn the ball over, and I think we're going to get a lot of turnovers today, and if you can hurt them on the turnover, that's where you're going to get the advantage, and Lara certainly did that then on the turnover in their defensive 50. So, it's going to be capitalising on the mistakes, I think, today, Jace. You're going to get a bit of a look at it.
Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, Newtown 72, North Shore 21, Geelong West 6, Bell Park 20, Grovedale 14, Leopold 18. Now, if you're wondering why that score is high, Newtown and North Shore, they started at 1:15.
Ball back in the middle. Russell gets ragdoll as he got the handball away through the hands. Russell on hands and knees again. Falls towards the last goal scorer, O'Meara. Tried to get the handball up. Still in dispute. Coots gets wrapped up. And the umpire said he's going to ball it up and start things again. Just on the outer side centre wing position. Just inside the centre square, we're going to have a ball up. Big pack around it too. As the umpire throws it in the air for Hovey in front to get it down and do the roving work and do the don't argue and drop the footy. The umpire said play on. So Lara get it anyway, and they go towards 50 with the kick. Through the middle, Van Doren, Jose at the back. Right foot kick over the top, and he's kicked the goal. Lambie's Tavern goal of the day contender from Dylan Jose, who did beautifully through the pack there and got some support from Brock Van Doren and finished it off with a great goal. His first of the afternoon and the 4th for Lara, 4-2-26. And they lead St Albans 4 behinds. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard. Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Here's Matt Kershaw.
Well, you have a look at Lara's forward line at the moment, and you've got your 2 resting midfielders in there, and Aaron Stone and Dylan Jose, who, they start in the midfield and then they go and make their way forward. It's a real good weapon to have when you can get the ball in there quick. If the ball hits the ground, they're a show. If the ball's in the air, you've got Gunther and Day down there and Van Doren. So, it's a really good mix down in their forward 50 at the moment if they can keep getting the ball in there quick while they've got them in there.
Doing some damage in the last 5 or so minutes here, the Cats. Back in the middle, Borchard and Hovey, no clear winner. Goodwin, game 100 for the club, is at the bottom of a pack where he gets to his feet and wrapped up by Hovey going nowhere. And on the centre wicket area, we'll get a ball up. Umpire tossing it into the air. Hovey grabbing it out of the ruck and now giving a handball to Donegan. Donegan will send the Super Saints into attack, driving a kick, but it's straight onto the chest of Weagle, who ran it best off the boot for Lara. Weagle, the experienced defender, goes wide and finds Cockrell, who marks it left half back. Just pulls his kick nicely for David. Just a little bit too much carry on it, but the ball's going to get out the back, and the numbers are here for Lara. Scrubbing kick inside forward, 50's turned over, and St Albans should be able to repel, although the kick that was intended for Fraser Wilson as team turned over. Jost trying to step through. Wilson did okay with a handball. Hopper back to Day. Day 48 from goal. Just kept his head to the pocket. He went looking there for Aaron. Stone went over his head. Stone went to ground, then found the footy, bounced back to his feet, but got taken in a tackle about 15 from goal. And he's been pinged for holding the footy. That's a tough call.
Well, what are you going to do? Just leave it?
And the free kick taken for St Albans there by Waterson, dropped off the chest of McDonald, time to recover, and his low kick is okay. It's a squirting low ball that finds its way into the waiting arms of a teammate, and it might be Johnston with Reynolds with the footy, I should say, with
Boothie, I think.
Boothie with the footy.
And he goes towards half back, towards Hovey, the big fella in front of Borchard, takes the mark. Bit of a floater to him. He gets it and goes over the top. Might be all right to Russell. He takes it in front of Goodwin. Plays on now. Long, strong lead. No mark taken, St Albans. Oh, they turned the ball over to Goodwin. Got it away to Lenahan Cunningham, who goes towards half forward with the kick. Hovey gets back there to help out for St Albans. Needs some support. Waterson didn't give him much. He goes himself, the big fella. Does well. Bit of candy. Goes towards centre wing. Punched away from Weagle, by Weagle at the back. Goodwin through the middle. Boothie over the top of it. Needs to get some support. Robertson and McDonald. And the boundary umpire says, I will throw it in. And still on centre wing on the outer side. We played 25 and a half in this first term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, 4:2:26. Lara, St Albans 4 behinds.
So we think kicking with the aid of the breeze, and a fairly handy one, I suspect, to the southern end. From the boundary throw-in, good tackle by Borchard on Big Hovey means he's going nowhere. We'll get a ball up near the edge of the centre square, outer side. Just forward of the wing, slightly favouring Lara. 26 minutes gone. Umpire to toss it into the air for Borchard and Hovey again. Borchard knocking it away. Donegan over it. Dumped in a tackle. McDonald. That might be the old-fashioned sling tackle.
Yep.
That is now being... Well, they're trying to outlaw from the game, and McDonald will take the resultant free kick. And Borchard's the one who was the offending player. High kick into the breeze. Borchard got back, did well, knocked it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So 26 and a half minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. There's no better way to travel. It's Lara 26, St Albans 4 in this opening term of Carroll football.
So the throw-in right in front of the scoreboard here on the outer side. Centre wing position. Borchard pushed past the football. Hovey's there as well. And Goodwin and get into a bit of a WWE-like action there on the ground. Roll each other over. The umpire says ball's not coming out, so we'll have another ball up. Hovey and Borchard a metre apart. They'll do battle. Both get a hand to it. Falls to Russell, who broke free. Got a good shepherd from Hovey. Oh, he's had it, lost it, and got it back. Under pressure. He's going to be there. Coots comes across. It was that high. The umpire said play on. It was Jordan Stone over the top of it for Lara. The umpire will come in and ball it up again. Still on centre wing, just a bit closer to the centre square. And ball up for the two big ruckmen again. Falls to the side. Ettridge got his handball out. In fact, it was Cottrell who got it away. And hang on a minute. Umpire says advantage. So running through the middle, Stone. Aaron with a left foot kick towards full forward. But the St Albans defenders just playing in front and trying to chip the ball out. They go to Donegan just inside defensive 50.
I think it was Howarth who took a good mark there with that ball. It was a scything ball that came in. He goes short to Donegan. And Donegan's going to go across the face of his defensive goal. It's a risky kick that hangs in the air. Gee, it asked a lot out there of his teammate in speed. And he was able to come and find the footy again, but he was dumped in an O'Meara tackle, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in left forward pocket. So if you're going to hit that kick, Kirsch...
You've got to be out and out, don't you? You can't give it some air like that, and you've got to have no one around you for 30 metres.
The left forward pocket, boundary throw in. And it favours Hovey. He grabs it out of the ruck and then just bangs it on the boot. It hangs in the breeze. Summers comes up, so does Weagle. Weagle brought it to ground. Ettridge through traffic did well, turned onto his left foot. A high kick towards half forward, bounces in front of O'Meara, reels it in with the one hand. Then he went to ground, a handball on the up as the quarter time siren sounds in the background at 28 minutes and 40 seconds on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. And it's Lara who have made the most of their advantage with the breeze in this opening term. They're 4-2-26. St Albans are 4 behinds here at quarter time at the Gordon TAFE Oval. We'll take a break, come back. We'll go round the grounds for Leopold Sporties. Check in both with GFL, Bellarine, GDFL and AFL scores this afternoon on a beautiful winter's afternoon here at St Albans Reserve. It's Lara by 22 points thanks to Epco Cafe 24/7. We've got you. Live breathe. K-Rock footy.
Hitting the streets of Geelong and the Surf Coast, K-Rock 955 Street Team.
Hey, it's Kendra from the K-Rock Street Team, and we are heading down to Rex Corral Nissan this Tuesday for an afternoon packed with fun and activities for the whole family. We'll be all set up with our world-famous giant games and pumping the bangers thanks to our resident DJ, DJ Bri Bri. Come down and check out the massive range of all-new Nissan SUVs, including the X-Trail and Pathfinder. For your chance to win a Melbourne City Football Club Guernsey signed by the entire team, head our way and scan the QR code to go in the draw. There's loads happening across the day, so come grab some hot food and check out the wide range of awesome cars available. Come down to Rex Corral Nissan to find out which all-new Nissan SUV suits you. You do not want to miss out on the action from 3 p.m. till 7 p.m. this Tuesday.
Hamlin Homes, proudly Geelong's largest.
On the other side of things, St Albans haven't capitalised going forward. They've had a couple of opportunities early in that first quarter and just couldn't hit the scoreboard. You can see how dangerous Lara are when they get the ball in real quick. It doesn't have to be chains of footwork by them. They just have to get it in quick, and their forward line's pretty dangerous, whereas St Albans are really trying to maintain tempo footy, get the ball into their forward line with some method. So with the breeze, they might need to change it up and go a little bit more direct. Interesting stat, though, got for you, Kingy. At that huddle, the Lara huddle, there was 33 people and 5 were wearing shorts. So the weather's nice, the sun's out.
The curse higher.
The curse higher. A lot more shorts at the footy you're being seen today, Jace.
Well, yeah, this is the last game of July. We're into August.
Kingy loves his shorts.
I can tell you right.
It's not far away.
Well, I can tell you right now, Benny Cass will have a pair on later. But it's still too early for shorts. I'm sorry. You weren't going to bring a jumper.
Yeah, well, true.
It's going to be -3 at 5 o'clock today, I'll tell you.
Second quarter, thanks to Epco Cafe 24/7. We're underway. Here's Jace.
So Borchard is going to do the ruck work for Lara, and he goes up against Mitch Hovey. He gets it down in the middle. Well, that's a very good tackle by Russell, who is going to be paid the free kick. So he just he got Cockerell. He couldn't go anywhere there in the tackle, and so Jake Russell is going to take the first kick of the second term. He goes towards half forward. No mark taken by Ettridge. Worried out of it. St Albans got a couple of cross there. The tackle came over. And fighting hard for it, McDonald, who puts the tackle on again for St Albans. They get the kick out, and that came from Dylan Johnston, who goes up, and it must have been touched off the boot. The umpire said play on. So no mark taken by Elliott. And still about 30 out from the St Albans goal, king to the southern end in this second term. And it's going to be a ball up, so deep into attack for the Super Saints.
Umpire puts it into the air. Borchard and Summers. Borchard winning the tap this time through traffic. Evans, a handball that goes up the chimney towards Donegan. Donegan on hands and knees. Tried to get it away, couldn't. Here is a chance for McDonald of St Albans. He lost it. Cockerell, but it's going to be a free kick for a push. And I think it's going to go to Brock McDonald. And a shot at goal to get the Super Saints first of the afternoon, potentially. He likes playing against Lara. Kicked 4 when they met back in round 10.
He was terrific.
Had a really good afternoon that day. He had big numbers too. Unfortunately, the stats for that game were incomplete, but he would have had somewhere in the high 20s, I suspect, in terms of ball one. Now the mark stands about 42 from goal, so McDonald will kick from just inside 50, sends it on its way. It'll have the carry, but he's pushed it to the right and through for a minor score. So to start the scoring in the second quarter, it's a behind to St Albans. They're now 5 behinds, missing some opportunities. Lara 4-2-26 as we approach a minute and 3/4 gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Weagle kicking in duties again for the Cats. Goes to the other side with the kick. Looking for Borchard. Got a hand to it. Pushed it back towards Goodwin. Taylor Robertson was there as well. Borchard came over to help again. McDonald put the tackle on. Goodwin's wrapped up. The umpire's going to come in. He said he had no prior. And we will have a ball up left half forward for St Albans. So Borchard. Ruck work. Comes in. Hovey. He pushed him out of the way. Ball to the back of the pack. Linehan Cunningham wrapped up. Does he get the kick away? He does. Just under pressure. Goes high. Out towards the 2 number 3s. O'Meara who might get it back again. Coots comes across. And Brogden was there as well. Still fighting for it, the two number 3s. And the ball is held in there. The umpire's going to come in and ball it up. Right on centre wing on the outer side. 3 played in this second term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel.
Anything for Wombat Gully Plant Farm that might have changed, Kirsch?
Yeah, Aaron Stone started forward that quarter and started in the centre bounce.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. And it looked like speed might have been with him for the moment. Joseph sent Lara forward, wanting Day. Couldn't mark on the juggle. Miller was able to knock it away from him. Howarth up to Brogden was good. Brogden tucked it under the arm, took on the tackler and then released a handball. Chance to build from halfback. Kick wide, looking for Vermeulen. He'll have to wait for it to bounce. Pitches away from him, but into the arms of Beardsall. Beardsall, the tackle came from Ettridge, but he couldn't stick it. Handball inboard to Coots. Coots to Vermeulen. Bit going on off the ball behind play. Ettridge and Beardsall. Kick wasn't great. Coming back inboard and a chance here for the Cats to clean up. And Yelland will drive it long. Looking down there for Day on a big lead and took it on the chest. Swung onto his right boot. Kick towards the top of the square. Wanting a marking option. Won't find one. Slung in the tackle. Gunther. And in doing so, he spilled it for Stone. Stone, a quick left foot snap. That was Aaron. And he snapped it around the right hand behind post. In fact, that's how much bend he got on it. So a minor score there for the Cats. 4-3-27. St Albans 5 behind in this second quarter of Carrick football thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
So Miller will kick it back in for St Albans. He's tech-ended the ground, goes long looking for Vermeulen. That goes up, no mark taken. And that came from Bailey Ettridge. Now St Albans trying to work hard back towards Summers. Does he take the mark inside the field of play at centre wing? I think he does. The umpire says he has. Sold Lamarkia gives him a lead in towards centre wing. He just holds it up. Doesn't go there. He goes along the line towards Elliott, who comes out, takes the mark on the chest. So just forward to centre wing. Long way up. Big ground, St Albans. These players have to work their way back. It goes towards Evans. It's chopped off though. Goodwin. Oh, he and his teammate there, I think might be Purdy, who just wrapped up, and I think
he's in trouble. I think
Goodwin's in trouble, is he?
Goodwin's in trouble.
He might have to count him, I think.
I reckon he got an accidental kick
right in the bottom of his stomach, I think. Purdy was there as well. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the free kick has been given to Angus Evans.
Well, Purdy just didn't want to get rid of it.
And Angus Evans wrapped him up, so he's 55 out, top of the square. Big pack there, over the back, Elliott, front and centre, Russell! Lammy's Tavern goal of the day. Yeah. Contender from Jake Russell, front and centre, where you want your little Rovers to be. And it was great. He turned around, kicked it over his left shoulder and put the first goal on the board for St Albans this afternoon. 1-5-11. They trail Lara 4-3-27, and that is on the APCO Cafe 24/7 K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
Well, he's probably been the best midfielder on the ground so far, Russell. He's been very busy, particularly between the arcs, but to push forward as a midfielder and make your opponent accountable as well is a really hard thing to do, and he finished off his great work and his work rate.
5 minutes into the second quarter, St Albans have got a higher score than they kicked last week against Newtown.
Yes, they have.
Their only goal kicker from last week, Seth Morrell, not playing this afternoon. Jacob Russell getting a crucial goal there. Margin back to 16 points. They are kicking with the aid of the breeze. Pedron doing the ruck work against Borchard. Borchard on hands and knees after the ball hit the deck. Here's Donegan, who's been good. Shrugged out of one tackle, not a second. We've got a handball to McDonald. Back to Brogden. Brogden comes in off his wing and sends it towards the other wing of Beardsall. It's a well-weighted kick. It gets to its intended target just before Harvey could cut him off. Kick towards Summers. Weagle just used the body nicely. Puts Summers on his backside. Weagle will track it to the boundary line. Just outside defensive 50. Comes back inboard wanting his old mate Jose. And he takes the mark. Dylan Jose hits the ground running. Short kick for Harvey. Had time to spend it and then got wrapped up by Beardsall. And he did well here, Beardsall. If he can get the ball out of bounds, yes, he can. And we're going to get a boundary umpire because the boundary umpire has deemed that Bailey Cockrell took the ball out of bounds in trying to fire the handball off, and we'll get a boundary throw in. So right in front of our best seats in the house, Rapco Cafe 24/7. Was it out, Kirsch?
It was out.
Yeah. Boundary throw in. Pedron in front. Got it to the back to Donegan. Chopped off though. Harvey came in for Lara. Gives it to Ettridge, who runs through the middle. Arches the back and kicks the ball towards half forward. Terrible for Mitch Day. Had to wait for it. Didn't sit for him. Miller goes the other way. Back towards the middle with the kick. Vermeulen. Yeah. He can't take the mark.
Did he goose step into
the old campaign?
Wait for it. Now Lara on the other side though. They can move it forward. Yelland towards Day again. Diving mark, can't take it. Miller on hands and knees, got a trip. The umpire said got legged and will take a free kick.
He's had two at his feet the last 2 too.
He has.
Mitch
They've
Day.
been terrible towards Mitch Day, and he kicks it sideways to Pedron at half-back, tries to draw a play and give it away. And St Albans back to the top of the centre square, and they can run free now. Brogdon drew a player over the top of Vermeulen on centre wing, handball back to McDonald. He goes with a right foot kick towards half forward, over the head of Elliott, getting back there. Tomicic at defensive 50, should be able to clear up and go wide to Weagle.
Weagle, a handball at close quarters to Borchard, right in front of our best seats in the house. Jose with the one-hander that barely went 15, but a Hamlin hanger contender just tapped at his own advantage. Took a good mark, Dylan Jose. Now a kick towards half forward, looking for a fly, but getting no mark there from Gunther. Chance for the Super Saints, should be holding the ball. The handball of Reynolds had too much under Vermeulen. It's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Just slightly forward of the wing, favouring Lara, who lead by 16. They're 4-3-27. St Albans 1-5-11. Just a little bit more intensity in the contest.
And a little bit of heat creeping into the game. The players coming off the ground are engaging with the supporters of the St Albans Football Club.
It's a free out of the contest, going to go to Lara. There was a kick off the grab. It was nice from Linehan Cunningham, but it's going to come back to Hopper, just forward of centre wing. Broadcast side. Being very pedantic, the umpire there.
He's a mile away from it.
He got it short to Yelland, who goes back into the middle. It's okay. Tomicic takes the mark. Right in the middle.
Have Jason Tomicic and Sam de Koning been seen in the same room?
Correct. He goes along with the kick inside 50. Day. Miller punched away. Front and centre. Borchard, the big ruckman, gets it away to Goodwin, who kicks over his shoulder. Back to Mitchie, who takes a one-hand. Hamlin hanger contender from Mitch Day. He just held Ben Miller off with the left and took it with the right.
It was like he said, Jace, just put it in my vicinity. This is the area I want.
I don't want these crappy little kicks along the ground.
I don't want him 10 feet over me head. I just want him in the vicinity, Jace.
That's right. And he's taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 50 out directly in front. And hasn't got a major yet. He's kicked one behind. He kicks with the right foot now, and I think he's missed it to the near side and through for another behind to Mitch Day.
Little slant on his kick then. He just sort of leant into the kick to the left, and that's where the ball went.
4-4-28, Lara. St Albans 1-5-11. 10 played, second term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
Miller to bring the ball back into play, the former Giant. Runs out of his defensive goal square, brings it broadcast side. What's he got out here? What's he looking for? He's got a good mark. Reynolds got high and took a nice grab. That's a good clean take at half back. It's the next kick, though, that's important. Elliott calling for it. He's got Tomicic for company. The kick's a bit of a mung, but it's going to work out all right because Weagle had gone back inboard to cover the lead of Elliott, and it's actually landed on the chest of his direct opponent, Summers. He got very close to the boundary line. He goes now looking for Elliott. Good spoil Tomicic. Front of the pack, McDonald. Handball to Evans. Evans 55 from goal. Just tumbles a punt. Rolling, and out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Is not necessarily a bad result for the Super Saints, where they'll get a stoppage as they look for their second goal of the afternoon. 10 3/4 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Lara 28, St Albans 11. Elliott will do the ruck work here against Borchard of Lara. Elliott won the tap down, front of the pack. Chance for Cockrell. Under pressure, got a handball. They only went as far as Summons, who's now under pressure from both Hopper and Weagle. And that should be holding the ball, will it? Yeah, and it is. Umpire paying the free kick to Weagle. He'll take it in the left back pocket, with Lara holding a 17-point advantage.
So Weagle now up to the wing half, right in front of Matt Kershaw, best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. He nearly got his first possession of the day. It's off hands and out of bounds, right in front of the broadcast box. And it'll be Borchard up against Pedron. And a great look at this boundary throw in. Borchard waits and gets it down to the front. Cockrell rode the bump, got the handball out. Jose gets the left foot kick around the corner, centre wing, holds up in the breeze, and Waterson takes the mark for St Albans across that centre wing position, drills it back inboard. Brogdon takes it. Mira stands the mark he plays on, wants to get back around and drop the footy. That's dropping the footy. The umpire no, says play on. Brogdon. He keeps going and gets it back, goes towards half forward. Terrible kick. Borchard takes it uncontested at defensive 50 for Lara.
Borchard short. And mark taken by Cockrell, who's starting to rack up a bit of the footy for the Cats. He goes with the left boot, short to Harvey, but still at left half back, long way from home. on this very big St Albans surface. He just chips one over, back looking for Cockrell. It sits on its point as he takes it. He's taking the tackle out of bounds, and we've got a boundary throw in. And after probably the 10-minute burst there where the footy was pretty good, it's become a little bit agricultural.
Scrappy, it has, and really wasting some time in forward half at the moment, St Albans. They're just missing that opportunity inside their forward 50. Apart from that Russell one, they look dangerous. The rest of the time, they certainly haven't going forward.
Borchard gets it down. McDonald with a torpedo mung towards 50. Oh, Weagle in front. Did better against Summers, showing years of experience there. Dan Weagle, his kick-in ball was beautiful to Hopper. He handballed it away. Harvey now can run through the middle. Right foot kick over the head of Day on this occasion. Goes back. Reynolds stands there for St Albans, gets the ball laterally by hand. They get it out, and they can go short towards Brogdon, but they turn it over. Terrible kick. Goodwin takes it at left half forward for Lara.
Goodwin, comes back inboard. You paused for effect there, James.
I did. I paused for a Tom King intro. There it was.
Ettridge marks, point of the square, left half forward. He pulls his kick almost back from whence it came, and it is actually Goodwin marking, but still a long way from home, especially into this breeze in this second quarter. He pulls a kick, looking for a mark and finding one. That's Stone, I reckon, who's got it. That's Aaron stretching over the top and taking a mark sort of out of nowhere. And he'll go back and have a shot on the catch, fifth, and he's second of the afternoon.
Has he spent a lot of time in the forward line, Kirk?
This quarter he has, yep. He's only had that one.
The plan,
it
you
was
think?
a real short rotation. It was about 3 minutes.
Plan?
I think it's a plan, yeah. I think.
Not injury?
I don't even be guessing, but I think it's a plan for him to probably spend a bit more time forward. He's only kicked 3 for the season, I think, so he hasn't. Is that about right?
Yeah,
yeah.
the one today. He sends it on its way. Left foot kick was always to the near side, and that's just snuck in for a behind. So they are now 4-5-29. The Cats, a neat 3-goal lead over St Albans, 1-5-11 second quarter. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7 and at Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, coming up to 14 and a half minutes.
Might need to spend some time at the Matt Kershaw kicking school, I think, too. After that, the ball comes in. Miller and got it away. Van Doren chopped it off. Tries to keep it in front of him. Getting across there, Hopper on hands and knees as well. And ball still in dispute. Comes out now. Sold Lamarkia gets the kick up the chimney towards Evans on centre wing. Takes a good mark. And reckons he'd cop one around the head. The Lara boys said stop whinging and get on with it. He gives it to Sold Lamarkia. Handball back to Evans. Still on centre wing. Drives it inside 50. Read the better by Tom Jason. I was going to call him Sam.
Tom Jasovic.
Jason Tomajic goes out wide with the kick and just settle the play down. Tempo play for Lara. The handball came from Jordan Stone. They go along the centre wing position. Long wings here at St Albans. Ball spills free. Comes back. The ball might be able to go through Howarth, who gets it back. Still on centre wing. Kick over the top by Russell. And that's better play. And the handball to Sold Lamarkia. 55 out. Open goal square. Summers gets back there. Which way is it going to bounce? It sits there. Oh, Weagle read it the better. And the kick around the corner was absolutely exquisite. Oh, somebody... Reynolds fell over right at the crucial stage, but he's got some support from Robertson, who gives it back to him, and they do the 1-2. Oh, there's Bucky around a defensive 50, and they're still going to be in trouble. The handball is over the top towards Ettridge. They come the other way. Russell got one as well. Now it goes to Elliott. He's got nothing to kick to, tries to get around. He kicks back in. Ball! Weagle comes the other way, and now might be able to settle down. Purdy kicks it backwards. It might be okay. Tomajic takes it in the goal square.
All right, it's Brent Vermeulen who's in a little bit of trouble here for St John of God. We'll just keep an eye on him. But that was cue there, Benny Hill music. That would may have been the worst passage of play we've seen all season on our K-Rock broadcast.
It's hard to even describe that on radio, isn't it?
Reynolds, the kick went through the legs of Cockrell, rolls to the boundary line. Now Brent Vermeulen in the hands of the St Albans medical staff for St John of God. He seems to be okay, but he's now getting into a jog to come off the ground, so hopefully he's all right, and we'll see the St Albans skipper back soon for St John of God. Your emergency specialist now open 24/7, My Street, Geelong, but we've got a boundary throw in about 55 from the St Albans goal. Throw in favours Hovey, grabs it out of the ruck. Don't argue on Purdy. Trying another don't argue that's holding the ball. Advantage will be paid. Killer Linehan Cunningham gives it off to Cockrell.
And he goes towards centre wing, coming out Day. Oh, Oh, he slams Miller into the ground. That is WWE, and they're not happy with Mitch Day, the St Albans boys. Miller comes over after getting slammed in the ground, remonstrating with the big fella, and Jake Russell's in there as well. A couple of others. The umpire will want to try and get this ball moving. Miller has got the free kick.
I've got a sneaking suspicion the match review panel's looking at that.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Alex Beardsall should probably stop with Mitch Day because he's fighting right out of his weight division. The ball comes from Robertson for Lara across half 40, can't keep it in, and it will be a boundary throw in.
Mitch Day had two little fellas, one each in one hand.
I don't know what was going on there, but get out of his way.
Umpire O'Neill speaking to Mitch now. He obviously hasn't reported him because if he had, he'd be carded, but I suspect that'll get noted on their little MRP. Have a look at this.
So the boundary throw in hit Bailey Cockrell on the back of the head, in fact, from the ruck contest there, and it came to Jake Russell in the end, and he pushed the ball forward. So it'll be a boundary throw in right forward pocket, southern end of the ground. St Albans into attack.
That was some sort of move that Mitch Day, I'm just getting my head around it, to be honest.
A lot of WWE action there.
British Bulldog style.
Boundary throw in, Cockrell front of the pack, good handball to Goodwin. Goodwin just held the handball back for a runner. That handball coming out from Yellen was okay in the end for Ettridge. Ettridge from his defensive 50 wants Day in a one-on-one middle of the ground. Knocked away by Miller, ball hits the deck, overrunning it, leaving it for Coots now. St Albans go inside forward 50. The kick does Elliott no favour, and Purdy getting across in front, taking the mark on the chest. Wants to go towards Yelland, who'll have to wait for it to bounce a couple of times before he can take it. You want to come back inboard, corralled by Evans, so he has to go with a little short kick that didn't go 15. Handball on the up is okay. Here's Scary. I think we're calling for the first or second time this afternoon, the debutant. Driving it long to the wing through the hands of Waterson of St Albans, but the ball's at ground level where there's a trio of Super Saints, including Speed, whose left foot kick out of the pack is not good. And Minari has marked for Lara at right half back.
So Minari goes short. Linehan Cunningham takes the mark. Back end of centre wing. Nowhere to kick, really. He wants to go out wide now with the ball. Oh, it's just okay. And under pressure, sold Lamar here against Harvey. Minari comes across to remonstrate as well, but Harvey, Mark Endall free kick right on centre wing, gets the footy back. Eagles saying maybe backwards. He doesn't know. He's got to go back there because there's not much else to kick to, so he goes back to Scary, who is on right half back to whence it came, and going up. Gunther does well, takes a two grabber on centre wing, but they've moved the ball 35 metres in the same spot, and they come back inboard now. Purdy takes it. They're still on centre wing. Need to drive it forward. They do so. Right foot kick, long, over the back. Miller goes up, can't take the mark off the back of the pack, but Hovey, the big fella, gets a clearing kick for St Albans.
He bangs it long, looking for territory. It'll be a bouncing ball inside defensive 50. Yelland will track it back. He'll have Evans for company. Just does a little shimmy and then sends a right foot kick into the right back pocket. It's well weighted with the mark taken by Reynolds. Reynolds goes short. And Mark taken out there. He's Scary. We hadn't called him much in the first quarter and a half, but now he's starting to get his hands on the footy, the debutant. Good size about him too, as he goes short into the right back pocket. Now short to the defensive goal square to Tomacic. He received it from Reynolds. He looks to kick now, Robertson, or he'll go shorter still to Weagle. And they've hemmed them in. They've done well here, the Super Saints. Have been able to shift their defence to ensure no easy exit for the Cats. Weagle just has to go short to the top of his defensive goal square to Yelland. And Yellen just beckoning people to move.
You've got to keep the pressure up here, St Albans, because they're a chance to turn it over by foot.
Yelland, a high kick. This will sit for Hovey to mark. Couldn't complete it. Found it at ground level. Slung in the tackle. Just fired a handball indiscriminately forward about 20 metres. It'll sit on its point, and in the end it'll come into the arms of Goodwin from Reynolds, and Goodwin will clear towards half back for the Cats, looking for Minari.
He gets him too, and his second effort was pretty good. Couldn't take the mark, but he recovers and goes with the kick long to Day, who comes out centre wing. Want to move it quickly. What's he got to kick to now? He's on centre wing. He thought about drawing a player. He's got a half a dozen there. He decides to go with the kick instead. Inside 50, Joe's just back on the ground. St Albans with the numbers at the back though, and they can get the ball from Speed. They try and run across. Oh, it's a kick now. Robertson gets across there for Lara, but they pick it up nicely. Brogdon, it just takes a bounce and runs away. Goes to the right foot kick along the line. Summers overhead. Weagle reads it the better. And he chips the ball back in. Board. Goodwin put a hand up. Couldn't take the mark. Russell on hands and knees now. Gets wrapped up by Goodwin. Ball in there. The umpire will come in, ball it up just inside the centre square at half forward for St Albans. They're 1-5-11. They trail Lara 4-5-29. We played 22 in this second term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferry's, there's no better way to travel.
Umpire tosses it into the end of the point of the square at right half forward. Purdy just grabbed it out of the ruck uncontested, then went through 2 or 3 tackles and gave a handball off to Airtridge. Lost it in the tackle of Johnston. It fell back to Purdy, who jammed it on the boot towards half forward. Bouncing ball knocked away by Reynolds of St Albans. Now a chance for Stone. That's Aaron with the footy on his left boot. He sends a kick towards Day. It'll bounce at his bootlaces and then skew whiff away from him, and a chance here for St Albans to clean up through Pedron. Pedron's neat little right foot kick is okay, and Donegan, who's brought his own share in this afternoon, has it again.
He has. He goes inside the middle of the ground and the ball's okay. Taking the mark there was Graham. And looses the football. Umpire says play on. Ball goes to Russell. 60 out, open goal square. Which way is it going to bounce? Weagle gets back there and it bounces through for 1 behind.
The St Albans player stopped and resigned to the fact that he was going to stand on the mark.
Wow.
Wow. So another behind. 1-6-12. St Albans, Lara 4-5-29.
You don't see that often.
Apco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
That may be the worst non-decision of the year. There's nothing we can say about that.
No, absolutely nothing.
There's a lot of betting going on today.
Weagle, he pulls a kick nicely onto the chest of Hopper, who's got it just outside defensive 50 for the Cats. O'Meara asking for it short. As Jordan Stone comes off for a rest. Through the outstretched arms of McDonald, a high kick for Borchard to fly, coming up over the top, and he takes the mark over the top of Wilson. Borchard rucking manfully this afternoon with a little bit of support from Purdy. He'll go laterally with the kick, and it's okay for Skerry, who's at left half back, and half-time really can't come quick enough for players and commentators alike. Short to Robertson. And then Robertson goes short, and here's Stone taking the mark. So I can tell you we have gone 24 minutes and there hasn't been a goal as it's knocked out of bounds. Good defensive work there, diving across the front of the pack. So he's been one, I apologise. Jacob Russell kicked a nice one. I forgot.
It was so long ago.
But it was so long ago. Matt Graham, good defensive work, knock it out of bounds, boundary thrown. But we've had 1 goal on a pretty nice afternoon for footy, I must say, too. It's not like we're playing in last Saturday's conditions.
Boundary throw in, centre wing. Pedron goes up, Borchard gets it down. Run through the middle at the front, Hopper. He loses the football in the tackle. Oh, McDonald got one high. The umpire
took his head off.
Didn't see it. He'll come balling up. So centre wing, broadcast side.
Surely the umpire should be positioning themselves that between the three of them. They can see every angle of the contest.
Yep.
So ball up, Borchard. Pedron goes up early. Borchard gets it down. Russell's handball over the top to Beardsall at the right, a bump. Got the handball away to McDonald. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. So the boundary umpire was right there. Johnny on the spot. And he'll do some more work. For a boundary throw in. 1-6-12 St Albans. Lara 4-5-29. Throw in. Borchard in front. Gets it down to the front to Hopper. Can't take it. Now the kick around the corner. Pedron towards Elliott as the siren sounds. And as King said, 1 goal in that second term. 1-6-12 now St Albans. They trail Lara 4-5-29.
Yeah, so held to just the 3 points there, the Cats, but St Albans can only kick the 1 goal themselves with the aid of the breeze. So a low-scoring first half here at the Gordon Tafe Oval. It's the Cats 4-5-29 leading the Super Saints 1-6-12. We go to half-time thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. Treat yourself to some Garmy Chicken and Beer. Warren Ponds not heading to the GMHBA Stadium tonight? Well, surely.
Getting slammed in the ground, remonstrating with the big fella.
Yeah, not ideal from Mitch Day. Thankfully, young Miller got up and didn't have any ill effects as a result. That will be looked at, I suspect, by the match review panel, but I don't think there'll be any issues for Mitch Day. We certainly hope not with a couple of games to go, because if they did find an issue with it, that might be his season done and dusted, and we don't want that. We want the best players playing, but it's not a great look, but Benny Miller in the end, I suspect, well, you've got Mitch Day probably rolling at around 105 kegs and Miller at about 82. So there is a 23 kilo difference potentially between the two of them, and as a result, but sometimes things like that can happen. Third quarter about to get underway. We'll keep an eye on some Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups. Looks like Robertson and Beardsall now on this near side wing to go head-to-head, and Howarth has got Jordan Stone. But third quarter for Harvey Norman, here is Jace.
Yes, Hovey gets a big thump away too from the middle for St Albans to Donegan, who runs free at half forward, chips the ball over the top towards the lead of Summers, and he takes the mark. About 50 from goal, wants to play on quickly. So move at all costs by the looks of it for St Albans. He goes to the square. Front and centre was McDonald, tapped away. All under pressure. Handball back to nobody in particular. Elliott put the tackle on. Manari it was. Now they get the ball free, Lara. They just want the safety to Banjo line or Robertson. They go to Robertson. It sits for him nicely. Goes to the right foot kick on the outside of the boot, and it will tumble out before Gunther can get there for Lara for a boundary throw-in.
Looks like Goodwin's got the job on Russell as well now. He's actually concentrating on all his moves, so maybe that's a move that Shane Stone's looked at to put a bit of work into Russell.
The Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. Wombat Gully Plant Farm, 201 Townsend Road in Mullet, just down the road from where we are here at the Gordon Tafe Oval. It is, dare I say it, bare root season. Now we're just waiting for the boundary umpire to bring this back into play for Borchard and Hovey to go at it. Borchard winning the tap down, rolling ball. Tracked here is Russell. Ran straight into an O'Meara tackle and wrapped up by Goodwin. That should be holding the ball. And he might have copped the head, hit the ground.
High.
Yeah, and that's really sickening for Jacob Russell. He's now getting to his haunches, but he needs to probably be concussion tested from there, you'd suspect.
He's no good.
He's going to be wobbly, I suspect. And he's trying to brush off the trainer, but he didn't move there for a little while. And the ball is inside the Lara 50. Mitch Day has the ball at 40 metres out.
Trainer's not able to get near him because he's ran off on him, but I'm with you, King. He's sort of maybe got to persist, I think, the trainer there. And
he is grabbing at his head at the moment, Jacob Russell. Just trying to shake it off. I suppose the thing is, if he does concede and he's got concussion, he doesn't get to play next week either.
Right. There's a good mark too by Mitch Day all the same.
48 metres out from goal. Mitch Day has pushed that so badly, he's pushed it out on the full. So maybe those kicking yips are back for the big fella.
You might need a couple of appointments with you during the week, Kirsch, I think, the way he's going.
And it's a free kick with Reynolds. He runs across the face of his defensive goal, has a cheeky bounce, and now a neat little kick onto the chest of Brogdon in the right back pocket at the southern end of the ground. They're a long way from home, and they trail by 17 points.
They do. And Brogdon now wants to go along the line. Goes outside 50, holds up in the breeze in front. Good mark. Linehan Cunningham has taken it and wants to try and drill it back in. That's the scrubber kick. Might be okay to Gunther. He got it to the outside and the kick has come in.
Jordan Stone.
I think it was Jordan Stone. It was. He missed it to the far side and through. 4 or another behind. We've got a full 6:30 now. Lara leads St Albans 1-6-12. 3 played. Third term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferry's, there's no better way to travel.
Just waiting for the ball to come back. One of the fun parts of country footy, that player either has to jump the fence or wait for somebody to go and get it for them, and it's Miller who now has the ball in his defensive goal square. He runs out of that defensive goal square and then just straightens up for the corridor, wanting Russell, and it just got it over the outstretched arm of O'Meara. And he takes the mark. Russell seems to have no ill effects from that contest earlier. Brings the kick wide, wanting Salt on the mark here. Wonderful defensive spoil coming there from Reynolds. And he knocks it out of bounds and a boundary throw. Tom Reynolds, it's a real sort of, old school member of parliament sort of.
Tom Reynolds MP.
Yeah, up there with Francis Evans.
Francis Evans, that's right.
And we've got a boundary throw in. It is a shallow throw in. It bounces at the feet of both rucks. Knocked forward by McDonald, knocked forward by Hovey. Russell picks it up, gave a handball to McDonald, fumbled. Time to release to Brogdon. Oh, bang! Jordan Stone with a really good tackle. I should say Aaron, it was right the first time. Jordan with a really good tackle.
Said he shouldered too a bit.
And we're going to get a ball up. So Stone just doing some good, hard, tough work there. And we'll get another ball up, and it's one down by Borchard down to Cockerell.
He gets it away. Linehan Cunningham backwards is okay. Kick around the corner. And inside 50 forwards, Day has to sit and wait. Ball on the outside. Gunther tapped it on, close to the boundary line. He get a free kick for a hold. He might. He will. And Tom Gunther will take the free about 40 out from goal, close to the boundary line in the right forward pocket.
Good call, Jace. Jordan Stone coming off with that shoulder.
So John of God.
Stinger.
Yep. Injury concern there for Jordan Stone, so he's off, replaced by Brock Van Doren.
He'd gone forward to Jordan Stone, which was an interesting move. He's not a renowned forward craft player.
So Gunther in the right forward pocket, or in between the forward pocket and half forward flank. Had 40 out from goal. And he comes in, keeps it shallow with a kick, and he has kicked it out of bounds on the fulls, missed everything. So St Albans with the resultant free kick coming back for Beardsall. It's 1-6-12 St Albans. Lara 4-6-30, and we've played 5 minutes in this third term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
So kick comes from Johnston, driving ball, looking for Elliott or Hovey. Hovey flew, couldn't mark, front of the pack. McDonald was clean, a handball off. Donegan, Russell, back to Donegan in a 1-2. Got Ray from O'Meara, then just chipped a little kick, wanting sold on the mark here. But over the top, that's a good mark taken by Ettridge. Ettridge goes short to Linehan Cunningham, and he'll be paid the mark despite the spoil that was a little bit late from Brock McDonald, who does his best impersonation of Peter Sterling at halfback for Parramatta in the mid-80s. With the pass back kick inside 50. It's an absolute cracker from Linehan Cunningham, and Day was like a steam train coming at the footy, took the mark, and will go back and hopefully kick his first of the afternoon.
Well, it's a game of opportunities. We've seen a lot go begging this afternoon, but this is the one that can really hurt St Albans, I reckon.
I think the Fords coach is having a bit of a look at him too.
The Fords coach is getting right behind him.
For a 24-point Lara lead. And Dave for his 39th of the season, the veteran from 48 metres. And that's a better hit from Mitch Day.
Better correction.
That's a nice finish for a Lammy's Tavern goal of the afternoon. He's got his first. Lara have got 5 and they lead by 24. It's a game-high lead. They're 5-6-36. St Albans are 1-6-12 this third quarter thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Corio and Warn Ponds.
Just a bit better skill level then, wasn't it? It was a perfect hit up on Mitch Day, but they were enjoying a bit of time in forward half, Lara, but they were unable to score. But you need some good skill into that forward line, and Mitch done the rest. Good to see that Mitch has corrected his last 2 kicks at that end and in similar positions. So it's about learning during the game and amending it when you can.
So back to the middle, and good start for Lara in this third term. Hovey and Borchard. Borchard gets it down, rode by Goodwin. He gets it kicked towards half forward. Coots tracks it back with Brogdon. Gunther as well there. And Howarth. Brogdon breaks free, handball back to Hovey, who'd followed up the big ruckman. Picks it up and runs away. Right foot kick towards centre wing. And no mark taken. Russell front and centre. It's slung off the ball. Vermeulen was over there as well, so he's obviously recovered, which is good to see. And Russell will take a free kick on centre wing for the home side.
That's not the first time Borchard's been done for a sling tackle, is it?
No, he's overzealous in that regard sometimes.
Goes with a kick towards centre half, or punched away by Weagle. Front and centre, Sol Lamaki was good. Boothie on the outside. Kick around the corner. And at the back, no mark. Purdy then falls over at the crucial stage and then drags it back in. He's in a bit of trouble here, I reckon. The umpire has run around and said, thank you very much. It's holding the ball, and the St Albans boys over there
loved it, didn't
on the other side, who have obviously had a convivial all 7. Very happy with that free kick for Brock McDonald.
Yep. See, no one on the gate. Bring your own esky in over there.
And the free kick will go to Brock McDonald, about 30 out from goal. He has gone back on a nice little run up here too. He, as Kingy said earlier, kicked 4 the last time these two sides met out at the Snake Pit. He comes in northern end of the ground, right foot kick, is pretty happy, and he's over to the boys as well at half forward. He's pretty happy with that. Then Brock McDonald kicks his first, and the second for St Albans, and a good finish, a good tackle by the midfielder who worked his way down there and kicked the goal, and they are 2-6-18. They trail Lara 5-6-36. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
Well, that's the best celebration I've seen for a second goal scored in the third quarter of a game ever, I reckon. I don't think you'll see much better.
So he's kicked 7 goals for the year, Brock McDonald, and 5 of them have come against Lara. Back in the middle. Can they get two in a row? Borchard, though, climbing high and winning the tap down. Rolling ball off the edge of the square. O'Meara left it behind. Vermeulen's back out on the ground, socketed it, but it ricocheted back to Borchard. A handball release. Chance for Goodwin. He gave it to Cockrell. Cockrell freed the arms, but couldn't get the handball away. And Vermeulen wins himself a free kick. Next goal would be handy for the Super Saints. He goes short and wide, and mark taken there by Graham, the veteran. Back for his first game in several years, Alex Totoro told us. Comes back inboard to Vermeulen, who drives a kick now towards half forward. One hand Weagle was able to control it and then repel. Sends a kick towards half forward. It'll bounce through the arms of Reynolds it went. And Van Doren just worried him out of it enough. Cockrell to Gunther with a nice handball. Gunther's left foot kick was a scrubby one, but bounced up nicely. Day a handball release inboard. It'll sit for Joseph Van Doren. Van Doren just weaving his way through traffic, controlling the kick on the bounce. Robertson, 45 from goal, right forward pocket. Handball to Stone. That is Jordan with a wonderful snap and finish. Rather, it's Aaron. It's with his second, Aaron Stone. And a quick reply, just snuffing out any St Albans momentum there. It was just one touch on the boot. Real, nice, classy finish.
It was. He always
from
a
Aaron
class
Stone.
player. But you take it back a step and, just that Brock Reynolds fumble when you're 5 metres clear in front of your opponent. That's the difference. You've got to be clean. You've got to be sharp. You've got to defend with vigour. You've got to keep the ball in front of you. It's the basics you've got to do better. And that was just a real poor lack of concentration, skill error that opened the door for Lara to have that scoring opportunity. And Aaron Stone is the reason he's down in that forward half is for that reason. Rotating very minimally through the midfield, but in the forward line because he's so dangerous around goal.
Back in the middle, Borchard on hands and knees up against McDonald. He's wrapped up straight away by the big fella. The umpire will come in and have a secondary bounce in the middle. McDonald gets up, ball back with the umpire. Throws it up again. Pedron goes up early. Borchard gets it down. Donegan at the back. Gets around a couple of would-be tacklers and goes through the middle, right foot kick towards half forward. It's good. Elliott takes the mark, plays on quickly to cross half forward. No mark taken, and the Cats can run free. That might be Tom Reynolds MP. Oh, that's a high kick. And up the chimney towards centre wing, off hands at the front. Howard takes it. Wants to wheel back around on the right, does he? He thought about it, and then he handball over the top. Was industrious, to say the least. Coots gets wrapped up straight away, and probably a good result for St Albans in the middle in the end. And we will have a ball up centre wing.
Get back, reset.
12 and a quarter minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. There's no better way to travel on this beautiful winter's afternoon. Sun shining nicely here at the Gordon Tafe Oval. The breeze a little bit chilly. Pedron went early. Borchard double palm down, then did his own roving, but then jammed it on the boot. And did he put it on the roof? Nearly. Of the K-Rock box. It might have been on the roof of somebody's car. And the resultant free kick will belong to St Albans and Harry Howarth at left half back. A long way from home though, the Super Saints. Donegan presenting short, ignores that. He goes short to Graham and puts it onto his chest, and he's got it. Still back of the wing, broadcast side. Lara by 24. He chips one over top for Vermeulen, the captain marks. In the middle of 3 Cats. Plays on. Now sends a kick towards half forward, wanting Pedron, but getting back, judging it best the flight of the ball. It's Reynolds with a good mark, and he'll send a kick to the wing, looking for Van Doren. He might have got a shove in the back. Ball's got out the back. Chance for Harvey. Couldn't take it as pressure came from Howarth. It's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 6-6-42 Lara. St Albans 2-6-18 in this third quarter of K-Rock football. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
So throw-in. Borchard and Pedron. Favours Borchard, goes up. Pedron got half a hand to it though. Borchard did the roving work. His handball to Donegan, who unfortunately didn't place the other side. Now comes back to Jose, who tried to rip up Donegan. That's holding the ball. Umpire says yes, thanks. And it will be a free kick to Sam Donegan, right on centre wing.
He's having some sort of third quarter, Sam Donegan, Kurt.
He is indeed. He's really stepped it up. As in, we said that at the break. He's one of those players that St Albans need to lift.
So he goes with a right foot kick from centre wing. Tomajic from behind. Oh, side of the pack. Hayden Elliott, Hamlet hanger contender. Good play and called to play on straight away. Takes a bounce, plays on. Handball, inboard. Pedron off a step. Goes across the face of goal. Holds up in the breeze. Goes towards the side of the pack, coming out Tom Reynolds, MP, breaks free, handball's back. Tomacic off a step. Over the top, they might be out here, and they get it towards Purdy in front of Elliott.
Left back pocket, Purdy with the footy. Lara able to hold firm there. He's got an option, short and Hopper. Ignores that and goes further along the line towards the outer wing. Howarth judged it best off the boot and took a good mark for St Albans. Howarth back inboard with the kick for St Albans is good to McDonald. McDonald swinging the right boot towards half forward, wanting Graham. Purdy came off his man and was able to knock it towards the boundary line but not out of bounds. Brogden for St Albans into the pocket, and Elliott has marked in front of that contingent of young Super Saints fans who seem to be enjoying themselves on a Saturday afternoon. And Hayden Elliott with a very tight angle and the breeze to work against. It would take some sort of kick from the 2017 Premiership Falcon. Spent some time in the Sandful with good mate Matty McKenzie. But back here holding the fort at St Albans from 35 metres out on its way, was always near side and has put it out of bounds on the full. So missed opportunity there for the Super Saints. They trail by 24. St Albans 2-6-18, Lara at 6-6-42 in this third quarter. That on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock is ticked towards 15 3/4 minutes gone.
Weagle. Resultant free kick in the back pocket for Lara. Down the line. Outside half back. Borchard. Howarth goes up off hands. Ball Linehan Cunningham. Sort of got the half kick away. Now McDonald. Handball was chopped off. Robertson, the don't argue. Handball back. And Linehan Cunningham again. Long kick towards Day at half forward. Got a couple against him. Reynolds, Day, the don't argue, and the kick over the top was a magic because Van Doren was standing by himself. 30 out, closes and kicks the goal. Mitch Day, well done you. Brock Van Doren kicks his first of the afternoon. And the 7th for Lara, 7-6-48. They lead St Albans 2-6-18. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
What did I say pre-game?
What?
Brock Van Doren would benefit from Mitch Day attracting a crowd.
Right, so my comment to that goal was going to be that is a prime example of a St Albans defender leaving their man in Brock Van Doren to make it a 2v1 when you're in a dangerous position with only two pairs inside the forward half and you decide to take a punt and come off your man to make it 2v1 and you're 35 metres away. It's poor decision making by the St Albans defender. You've got to back your teammates to beat him one-on-one. If he gets beat on one-on-one, at least you can defend the next one-on-one. But when you come off, you're leaving your man in no man's land, and Mitch Day's too strong. He's not going to let you get away with that.
Hovey with a big fist, but Robertson will clean up coming off the wing. Will send a kick towards left half forward, and all alone is Dylan Jose. Jose sends it inside forward, 50. Day on a lead. Day marking. 35, make it 35 from goal, left forward pocket, 45-degree angle for the big fella to contend with. With the way the breeze is going, you'd have to start this just left of the left-hand goalpost.
Absolutely. The score involvements that Mitch Day's had today has been remarkable as well. I know he's missed a few, but he's been involved in probably nearly all of their goals. He's been fantastic focal point for him up there.
This for a 36-point lead, and you would suspect to put the game to bed.
Covers that defensive side.
Sends on its way, leans back on the kick. It's not a bad effort. It's a wonderful effort, but he's just missed to the right and through for a minor score. Would have been a fantastic kick. The margin is 31. Mitch Day now, with my count, has got 1 goal 3. And 2-6-18, St Albans, Lara at 7-6-48.
So Waterston to kick in for St Albans.
Make that 7-7-49.
Correct. Ball outside 50, but that's way too easy for Borchard, who kicks it back in board. Cockrell takes the mark, 65 from goal. Where's Mitch? He goes in that direction, he just pops it up. And over the back, Harvey going to be able to tap it away. Van Doren, his handball on the outboard was okay. Past Miller, coming in Hovey to help out. St Albans with the numbers. Donegan draws a player, handball over the top to Russell. His kick short was okay. And Summers takes the mark at right half back.
Boundary road side, Summers sends a kick towards Graham, who went with a Supes catch, couldn't complete the mark. Chance here for the Cats, Purdy involved. Linehan Cunningham gave it to Cockrell. Cockrell a high kick. Gunther his target. Gunther can't mark. Well done by Reynolds to knock it away from St Albans. And out of bounds for a boundary throw in, left forward pocket. Southern end of the ground. Falmunga's Townsend Boundary Road roundabout end of the ground.
It's a terrible roundabout too.
The old five ways. nobody knows which way to give
What
way
to
to. Tap down by Dave from the boundary throw and will roll back towards the boundary line. Cockerell can't keep it alive. And about 15 around from the left-hand behind post. We'll get the ball spun back into play. It's Lara by 31. That last point not updating on the scoreboard at the ground, but for those following via the live stream or listening through KROC 955, it is 49 playing 18. Day doing the ruck work and winning the tap, but here's Russell again, who's seemingly recovered from that earlier head knock, but that kick was very wide. Yes, as he puts it out on the full, and the free kick to the Cats.
So they kick it back inboard straight away. Day, Gunther goes up, hit him on the chest in the end actually. The ball comes out for St Albans. Vermeulen gives it away by hand to Brogden, who takes a bounce, takes a second bounce. Needs some support. He handballs it to a standing start. Boothie has to try and get away. His kick around the corner to Vermeulen was okay, who followed it up and plays on. Goes to the right foot kick towards half forward. No mark sold to Lamaki, who goes up. Handball over the top. And ball, a good tackle by Robertson, but Brogden got away, kicked it back inboard. It was good too to Boothie. His kick sets it up. Borchard, though, against Summers, just stood his ground, took the mark, and will relieve the pressure for Lara. Deep back, he goes short to Cockerell at centre half back.
It wasn't a great kick from Booth, he just mishit it. The kick is all right, Cockerell to Jose. Jose, though, tried to take on the tackler, and that'll be holding the ball when she put the arm up to fend off. And not for the first time, Dylan Jose wrapped up. And Jacob Russell, who was absolutely, you couldn't tell he had a white jumper on last week via the photos, in a similar situation in the mud in the middle of the turf table here at the Gordon Tafo. Went to Vermeulen. Vermeulen was called to play on. Good pressure from Goodwin, who's harassed both he and Howarth out of the ball. Dives on the loose ball now. Goodwin, Howarth, and that will be a ball up. About a couple of metres forward of the true centre wing. Still slightly in attack. 48 playing 18, make it 49 playing 18. They haven't updated the scoreboard, as I alluded to, and it is Lara's game to lose as we approach three-quarter time.
Big punch away, Hovey back into the middle. Rove, though, by Jordan Stone. Got it away, Lenahan Cunningham towards Day. Miller. Oh, you don't see that too often. Mitch Day pushed off the foot. He did slip.
Yeah, he
He slipped. Miller took the mark. And goes out wide with the kick. So nobody in particular, but Reynolds got there first for St Albans. Kick around the corner. Does it hit a target? Sold Lamaki can't take the mark. Can he get away? He dropped the football in the tackle. Umpire said play on. He handballed it over the back to Reynolds again off a step. He goes wide. Russell, who seems to be everywhere today, has taken the mark. Plays on now. Right foot kick to half forward. Borchard got away and handballed it away quickly. Oh, mucking around with it. Then his kick off the side of his boot into the middle. Donegan tracks it back with Stone. Pushed off the football speed. Handball Donegan. Over the top was okay. Beardsall off a step out wide. Might sit for Vermeulen if he can get there first. He can't. He tries to ride the tackle. He gets wrapped up. He got the handball away. Howarth had it, lost it. No, he didn't. Needs some support. O'Meara comes over. He wraps him up, gets up. The umpire says, play on. Ball spilt free. Beardsall is going to keep it in, is he? Right on the boundary line. Does well. Then he gets wrapped off the football. The umpire said, dropping it. And Lara will take the free kick.
Yeah, well done by Connor O'Meara. He laid several tackles there. He'll be stuffed after that series of contests, the youngster. Connor O'Meara was industrious against Geelong West with 17 possessions last week. Comes back inboard. Finds Connor Linehan Cunningham. His brother Bryce running around for Werribee Centrals this afternoon. He concedes some ground, about 25 from goal to Scary. Scary chip over the top to Yelland. Experienced Aidan Yelland, of course, spent some time with the Northern Blues in the VFL. Wanted to come back inboard to Scary. Graham did well to provide a spoil. Summers on hands and knees for St Albans is taken to ground, and that's not coming out of there. Umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up near the 50 with St Albans in attack. They need a goal. They need probably a couple going into the last quarter, but gee, with only 2 through 23 minutes of the third quarter, it's a tough ask for the Super Saints.
Ball up centre half forward. Hovey takes out the ruck contest. Gets the kick into the pocket. It's a 2-on-2. Getting back there, Elliott close to the behind post. Purdy pushed over the line and through for one behind to the home side. They go to 2-7-19. Trail Lara 7-7-49. 24 played final third term, and it'll be Dan Weigel with the kicking in duties. 7 VFL games this year for the experienced defender.
drives a kick towards half back. Spoil came from Russell. Trying to knock him out of the way. Day. Chance for Hopper to get a handball over the top. How will it sit? It'll sit nicely for Reynolds of St Albans. Bit going on off the footy between Stone and McDonald. And it was a mung kick forward, but it's ended up in the arms of Dylan Johnston, who actually had more tackles than possessions last week. He laid 10 tackles, had 9 disposals, Dylan Johnston. Went laterally to Hovey. Hovey just checks his kick into the pocket, wanting Elliott. Good strong hands. A Hamlin hanger contender. Had Tomicic for really tight company, but was really strong in the mitts and took a good mark, Hayden Elliott. And, well, from a similar position where he put one out in the full earlier in the quarter, he will have another shot, maybe a little bit further out. And this to bring the margin back to 24 points.
He's had a fairly good quarter, Elliott. He's been involved in a few marks inside forward 50 and a few attempts, but probably like to see him go on the ball in the start of next quarter to give it a real last quarter effort from him.
Right-hand goalpost might be his best bet. On his way, he sends it. It's not a bad effort, but he's going to miss to that near side. His near side again, and the margin is 29. 2-8-20 St Albans. Lara, a 7-7-49 in this third quarter of K-Rock football. Port Phillip Ferries time clock, 25-20 gone.
Weagle again kicks it in. Comes broadcast side for Gunther, and also in the middle taking a mark, Lenahan Cunningham, who's had a good third term. Oh, he's paid a push, a hold, has he? So free kick St Albans in that contest. Ball coming back. So at left half forward now, Reynolds will take the free kick for St Albans.
Take away the short.
So they're going to be able to drive it back in deep forward. He goes there now with the kick. Holds up in the breeze. Elliott in front. Tried to pick it up as well off the ground. He and Borchard fight hard for it. Ball spills free. Speed pushed off the football. Pack develops. Rugby scrum style. McDonald in there as well. Borchard. The umpire will come in and ball it up. And 45 out from the St Albans goal. 2-8-20. Lara 7-7-49.
Borchard, Hovey winning the tap. In front of the pack, Donegan just got knocked off it by Jost. Jost did well with his handball on the up. Only found Donegan. Donegan on his left boot, sending it towards Elliott, who marks again. So when they get some free ball and give Elliott a chance to run at it, things are working okay, but their conversion has let them down. But Elliott just needs to kick this to make it less than 4 goals going into three-quarter time.
Yeah, well, he's put the last one at the full point this quarter, and again, like Mitch Day, you got to learn from your kicking. Let's see if he's learned from his with a better angle.
Might be left-hand goalpost just with the way the breeze is at the moment.
Absolutely.
Then faded across, you would suspect. Elliott on its way. He started it right, and it's hung out there, and he has put that almost out on the full. It's off hands. Thankfully, they get a stoppage in the right forward pocket, but some chances have gone begging. As actually, it might have gone out the full. Actually, it's been overruled, I suspect, and Dan Weagle's very quick to pounce on the share end to say, I'll take a free kick. Just consultation taking place between boundary goal and field umpire. And we can't call the arc, unfortunately.
It's got to be a throw-in if there's any confusion.
And it is going to be a throw-in. So throw-in right forward pocket next to the right-hand behind post. It is Lara, 7-7-49, leading St Albans, who are 2-8-20 as we approach three-quarter time. 27-45 played in the third on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Throw in, Elliott and Borchard. Elliott in front. Borchard took it out of the ruck and then dropped it. Umpire said play on. Falls to Donegan. Gives it away by hand to Vermeulen. Kick over his shoulder. Deep into the pocket. Oh, Weagle went back. Did he take the mark? I think he did. And read that the better there. Just held off Summers and was able to take it in the back pocket. So, chance to drive it out of defence. He goes wide. No mark taken. Numbers, though, with the Cats if they can get it out. Doesn't sit, though. And coming through, Solder Lamarkia. Oh, he's wrapped up one-handed, and the umpire says held to him. So we'll have a ball up right next to the boundary line. Left half forward for St Albans. They're 20. Lara 49, and we're close to three-quarter time here at the Gordon Tafe Oval.
Yeah, this St Albans interchange bench. Pedron went up high, but Borchard won the tap down. Ball handballed out of the pack. Cockerell dumped, going nowhere, and the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Still at left half forward. Cockerell slow to get to his feet. Umpire O'Neill throws it into the air. Borchard, Pedron, they nullify each other in the contest. Ball hits the deck. Benari through traffic, indiscriminate handball. Beardsall trying to knock it on towards Donegan. Hopper there for Lara. Handball was good to Cockrell. Cockrell with a low kick at the bootlaces of Day, who took it cleanly, freed the arms, handball inboard to Harvey. Harvey could have given it to Stone but burned him, but he was dumped after he got rid of it by Waterson. So it'll be a downfield free kick after the siren. So it might have actually worked out all right, because if you had gone to Stone, the siren may have gone while Stone was coming inside forward 50, and as a result of being dumped after taking his kick, it's a downfield free kick, and it might be Van Doren, I reckon, the recipient.
Well, it can't be Bailey Harvey's.
No. And it won't be Stone, so it'll be Brock Van Doren for his second of the afternoon, and probably to put this game to bed. St Albans will kick with the 8 of the breeze in the last, but with 2 goals through 3 quarters, they would then need to find 6 to win the game, and that's highly unlikely, you would suspect. Brock Van Doren, who's had a breakout year going back 2 or 3 years ago, struggled to find a permanent spot in this senior side, on his way, and that has faded off to the right, as many have this afternoon, and through for a behind. So the margin is going to go in at 30 points. 7-8-50 Lara, St Albans 2-8-20. As players head towards their huddles, we'll head towards a break. We'll bring you all the scores from around the region and AFB 7, and Belmont Lions look headed for a big win, 117, Corio 44. Jason, stay across those post-game as I make my way to GMHBA Stadium for the Cats and the Dogs. Players are in position for the final turn thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Robertson and Beardsall on our near side wing for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. McDonald has gone forward for the Super Saints, and I think it's that Purdy will be keeping him company for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. So final term, can they make an indent in this 30-point deficit? St Albans will find out as they kick with the breeze. Here's Jace.
Hovey got it down, but Cockrell roved it from the ruck contest, and Gunther took a good mark in front as well. Just inside the centre square at half forward, goes wide with the kick, and Jose takes a good sliding mark and will shoot for goal from 50 out in the right half forward flank position.
Only the one goal, Jace. Kick to the left of your dial for the day, and 8 to the right.
Yes, so it's against the odds here. Dylan Jose who goes with a right foot kick. It's a mongrel punt towards the top of the square. In amongst 2 players. It was Miller in front, and the ball just fell for Mitch Day, who turned around and slammed the goal through and has kicked his second of the afternoon. A good start for Lara, and the second goal at the East Tech end of the ground this afternoon at the northern end. As Kirsch was saying, only one up until that stage. 8-8-56 now, Lara. They lead St Albans 2-8-20. Abco Cafe 24/7. K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
I was about to say it's a positive move by St Albans to put McDonald forward after his goal-kicking prowess against Lara, but you can't really do much if you haven't got the ball inside your forward half, and Lara with a clearance and the great mark by Tommy Gunther as well to get that ball moving forward, and Mitch Day's been in really good form today.
Hovey winning the tap down. It was a nice tap too, trying to knock it into the path of Donegan, who's been good, but it was taken away and kicked long for Lara towards right half forward, and stretching and taking a mark is Gunther. That's a good grab again for a Hamlin hanger into the pocket for Jose.
This is a replay. This is a replay.
Yeah. Now all we need is him to kick it to the top of the square and Day to goal, and
he's gone with it the same again.
Jose driving it long to the square. Day on the juggle has been paid the mark.
Exact replay.
The only thing is he won't play on in goal. He'll have to go back for a set shot to kick his third. Second in the GFL goal kicking this year. And depending on what Mitch Patton's doing this afternoon, could he eat into that margin? I think it was 9 the difference. Patton 47, Day 38. He could finish with 5 or 6 here this afternoon. And Patton's been relatively subdued by Grovedale. And he might set up the last couple of weeks with a bit of a battle for the leading goal kicker award, or as I like to call it, the Suto medal. Day, for his third of the afternoon, has kicked it. No problems there from 25 out in the left forward pocket. So Mitch Day, he's got 3. He's got 3 by my count, and now has 41 for the season, and the margin is 42. And this is done and dusted. And with me picking the margin at 42, I'm happy for the final siren to be sounded about now.
Well, we mentioned earlier on about Mitch, how he'd only had that one goal early in the game, but his score involvements were high. He didn't take a lot of marks early, but his second efforts when the ball hit the ground were fantastic, and his ball inside forward 50. So it's not just taking the marks inside forward 50, it's his work rate and what he does when he doesn't win the ball on his own. So he's been terrific today.
What about the kick too?
Yeah.
He kicked it 80 metres.
And hit the very top of that pine
He
tree.
kicked it so high, so long.
Yep.
He certainly kicked through the footy
He
anyway.
certainly did, that one.
So back to the middle. Great start by the Cats in this final term. Couple of quick goals. Snuffed out any challenge. Hovey gets it down in the middle. Goodwin can't take it. Donegan's there as well. Pack develops around them. Umpire said over the shoulder. And free kick. And come back.
So we'll go with Tommy Gunther and then Josie.
Lenahan Cunningham with the footy in the middle. Gunther gave him a lead too. He ignored it, so they should drag him now. He goes along with the kick. Oh, Day comes out a little bit late. Speed got collected by Reynolds, who was in the middle of that sandwich. Mitch Day came in. Reynolds takes a while to get up, and no wonder. 105 kegs at him. He goes short with the kick speed to Miller. He's Mitch Day's opposite number, who takes it centre half back. He drives it into the middle. So Lamakia goes up. Oh, no mark taken. Pretty good effort at the back. Weagle. Kick underneath was intelligent towards Aaron Stone, who can pick it up now under a bit of pressure. Goes backwards 30 metres. It's okay. And Yellen takes the mark.
Yellen short. Salter Lamakia is still down in back play, just getting to his feet now for St John of God. And then the kick wide by Cockrell is a well-weighted one and finds out there Ettridge. And the former North Shore Seagull driving it towards Day down low is marked. He could have an absolute feast in this final term if they're willing to move the footy.
Yeah, it's just opened up a bit, hasn't it? And the defensive structure has fallen apart a bit down there for St Albans.
I think he thinks he's too far to kick a goal, but that breeze has actually died off.
Well, if he kicks through it like he did the last one, this will hit the pine trees again.
Left-hand goalpost would be his best result, I suspect. He sends it on its way. He gives every piece of it. He's pulled it across the face. Borchard! Borchard with a mark. Hamlin Hanger contender from Borchard came at it with a run and has taken a good grab about 20 from goal, just left of centre.
Terrific contested mark.
Jack Borchard has battled manfully in the ruck all season.
He's a ruckman though, Jace. The kick could go anywhere.
He could go as high as Mitch Day's, but not direction-wise.
We shall see.
This is for the Cats' 10th of the afternoon and a 48-point lead. He starts at left and he's just snuck it in. He's kicked the goal. So Borchard with the goal, just the third of his season. And we now have a 48-point Lara lead, 10-8-68. Playing 2-8-20 in this final term of K-Rock football. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Well, 6 minutes played and it's just total dominance by Lara. We talk about, time in forward half. They are at 0% at the moment, time in forward half, St Albans. They just cannot win a clearance or get the ball past centre at the minute. And Lara's dominance is just starting to rise, and their inside 50 opportunities, they're taking them, which they sort of haven't done for most of the day.
So ball up in the middle. Borchard against Elliott now having a run in the ruck. Brogdon can't take it for St Albans. Coots ripped off the football. Borchard somehow got it to Linehan Cunningham, who goes to the outside of the right boot. Jose can't take the mark. Gunther front and centre was okay. Great pick up, but then lost it in half a tackle from Howarth, close to the boundary line. Howarth just kicked it off the ground along the line towards Coots. He can't take it. Coming the other way though was Cockrell. His kick into the pocket. Day goes up and Linehan. Three of them around him, and Big Mitchie just went, get out of the way, and he took a great grab, and he is having a feast in this final term.
He's licking his lips. He's got like a KFC bucket down there, and he's just
saying, kick it to me and I will take marks. And hopefully for Lara, he will kick goals. He kicked 3-3 so far this afternoon, and he will be kicking from 30 out slide angle. So he'll have no problems with the distance. It will be accuracy the only thing. He comes in, right foot kick, and that accuracy again has let him down. In fact, he hasn't even kicked it 30 metres. He's leaning back on the ball a lot in his delivery.
He did that one.
And he has kicked it into the left forward pocket. It's rolled off hands and out of bounds for a throw in.
Yeah, it's just the fluency in his kicking and the consistency with his rhythm, and he sort of just does vary it slightly at times.
From the boundary throw in, the roving done by Stone. He's kicked back towards the top of the goal square. That was Aaron, has been marked. A chance to clear to Reynolds with that awkward kicking style, wanting McDonald, and it's a well-weighted kick onto his chest. He marks in front of the old scoreboard in the right back pocket. He takes on the man on the mark and handballs over the top to Coots. Coots confronted, handball back inboard. Had to stretch for it, Donegan, and then had his kick smothered, or rather it was Speed, I should say, had his kick smothered. Now it's at ground level, and fighting for it is Stone, and on the other way came Gunther for Lara. Now it's going to be a free kick for too high, I reckon, or holding the man. It's going to go to O'Meara, maybe against McDonald, and Connor O'Meara gets to his feet a little bit gingerly, but nonetheless has the free kick.
Shouldn't the forward coach be coaching instead of sending the K-Rock team a message saying everyone comes to see the big forwards?
Is he? I hope he's not getting paid for that role.
Now,
Hopefully it's volunteer.
The short kick of O'Meara finds Billy Goodwin, who's playing his 100th
Oh, this would be fitting.
open age game for the Cats. He's 91st at senior level, the other 9 coming at 12 o'clock.
Get ready, Tommy.
Goodwin.
All the backs are coming.
Just the 31 goals at GFL senior level, just the one this season. He sends it on its way. It's on direction. Has it got the distance? No, touched on the line. Miller getting his hands on it, knocking it through. And the margin is 49. 10-9-69 Lara. St Albans a 2-8-20. 9.5 minutes gone in this final term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel.
So Miller, he's going to play on from full back and go towards Vermeulen, who takes the mark uncontested, runs and plays on and goes towards centre wing. Elliott and Borchard over the back of those two. Might fall for Elliott in the end. Oh, holds the ball and good handball to Graham at half forward now. Short little kick. Oh, on the hands and knees. Evans can't take it. Getting back there, Goodwin, the last point scorer, gets 3. Goes to the right foot, kick over the top. Might sit for Yelland. He's on centre wing, confronted by Beardsall. Handball back was too much. Borchard and McDonald. Summers comes in, wrapped up by Borchard. Holds him up at right half forward and we'll have a ball up.
Final score at North Shore 131-72, West 74, Bell Park 57, Grovedale 65, Leopold 49 as Brogden tried to take on the tackler and was taken high and will win himself a free kick. If he hadn't been taken high, it would have been holding the ball. Aidan Yelland is taking his time just getting out of the protected area. He's a little bit sore, Aidan Yelland, but he's got to his feet now and just dusts himself off. Man of the mark is Borchard, standing 50 from goal. Brogden goes short and Russell has, on the third attempt, juggled the mark. Made something relatively simple look extremely hard. And distance-wise shouldn't be an issue for Russell. You'd have to get every piece of it though. He'll kick from 49 metres. He sends it on its way. He's got a good piece of it. He's got a very good piece of it. Geez, he didn't put a lot into it, but he's kicked the goal. Pretty happy with it too. It's not going to change the result, but he's had a good day, Jacob Russell. He's fought his backside off for his team and he's kicked his second of the afternoon, and the margin is back to 43 points. They now 3-8-26. They trail 10-9-69 final term of K-Rock football thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. He's just hasn't enough passengers with him on the bus, unfortunately, the young fella. But he's going to keep trying. His effort and endeavour's been fantastic all day.
He was very well coached when he was in the under-18s.
Was he?
Town. Very well coached.
Okay,
yeah.
I see.
Yes, he was.
Right. Is that what's made him such a good player?
Absolutely. Back in the middle.
He's not exactly a one grabber then, though, was he?
Be quiet.
Okay.
Elliott goes up, Borchard got it down. Here's Russell again. Oh, well coached, goes inside 50. Summers goes up off the back of the pack. Doesn't sit. Coming back is Purdy for Lara. Coming out was Hovey as well. He meets it, but he runs out of a room, and it will be a boundary throw. And Taven Robertson was in that team too. Actually, they were teammates, the two of them.
He was a Newtown junior, wasn't he?
He was. Boundary throw in left forward pocket for St Albans, 10-9-69. The Cats, the Super Saints, 3-8-26.
12.5 minutes almost ticked over. Port Phillip Ferry time clock. Hovey favoured by the boundary throw and just tapped it back into the corridor. Donegan overran the footy. Jose came in, picked it up cleanly, but went straight into Graham and Donegan. He's going nowhere. And the umpire says, I'll take it, thanks very much. And we'll ball it up 45 metres from the St Albans goal. But The result now, beyond doubt, Lara will pick up their second win of the season. Should have been their third. They were disappointed not to get up over the top of West last week. Tapped one down by Elliott. Ball at ground level. Handball on the up hopper. The Borchardt who just banged it on the boot. Looking for Stone. That's Aaron. Fisted away at the front by Howarth. Jordan Stone there as well. He couldn't take it. Howarth went past the footy. Chance now bursting his way through. Was pretty good play there by Boothie on his left boot inside 50. Borchardt will get a free kick for a push, as Graham really couldn't find a way to compete against a much bigger Borchardt, who goes short with a kick that was intended for Cockrell. Was well defended by Salter-Lamarca, who knocked it to ground but then lost it in a tackle. Graham picked up the loose ball, and the fellow follically challenged Dylan Jose has taken him in the tackle and brought him to ground. We'll get a ball up.
So just inside 50 for St Albans. Elliott gets it down. At the back, Tom Reynolds MP. Short little kick to Cockrell. At defensive 50 for Lara. Down the line. No mark taken. Van Doren. Reynolds was right next to him. Might fall back for Van Doren. It is. Gets his hands free and then gets wrapped up, and that's holding the ball. And free kick, St Albans. Hayden Elliott will take the free kick. So he's at left half forward for St Albans, called to play on now, drives it long inside 50. Hovey goes back with a flight of the football, front and centre. Oh, through the middle if you don't mind. The MP goes with the right foot, tumbling punt into the middle. Oh, no mark taken by speed for St Albans, and he gets wrapped up. The ball spills free to Goodwin. His handball back towards Hopper. He picks it up under pressure. Oh, he dropped the football. Umpire said yes, he did. Free kick. St Albans. Brogden will take it.
Well, that was knocked out in the tackle more than he dropped it.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grey area, isn't it? But anyway, kick inside forward 50. Hovey again back with the flight of the ball from the kick and doing okay with Tomacic. But Graham, the veteran, picked up the footy, banged it on the boot and kicked the goal. Although the goal umpire has been told by Sam Purdy that might have hit the post, but the goal umpire not having any of that, and Matt Graham has kicked a goal, and he gets the plaudits of his teammates as he kicks the fourth major of the afternoon for the Super Saints. They go to 4-8-32, the old multiplication. Lara at 10-9-69.
Pretty
Sorry,
good.
we were just conferring.
Yeah,
there.
we were just conferring.
Off
something.
camera.
Sorry. We're still on there.
Still on
You are. Wait, it's all right.
Sometime today would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Lara had come out, jumped out the blocks, but it's great that St Albans have fought back. They could have just, I suppose, laid down and just not seen the game out, but they're fighting. They're showing a bit of endeavour and some effort. So Alex Satori will be really happy with that.
Purdy in the ruck this time. Ball still in dispute in the middle. Russell over the top of it, tried to get it free. Cockrell put the tackle on him. The umpire will come in. And we'll have a secondary bounce right next to the centre circle. So ball up for Elliott and Purdy. Elliott gets it down, rode by Hopper. Tried to break free, got the kick away towards half forward. It's a 2-on-2 out there. Gunther wheeled his way around to the back. Now Van Doren, handball over the top towards Goodwin, who carried on. Gunther tried to tap it out, and Manari gets it back in. Now speed, off a step. Might be okay to Donegan, it is, and on centre wing he can run and go with a left foot kick. It's a terrible kick off the boot. It's ball towards Salter-Lamarca, who's attacked it all afternoon. Handball on the inside to Russell. Bit of time at centre wing, now runs through half forward, chips the ball to Summers. Oh, he can't take the diving mark at second slip. Might come back to him, he leaves it behind. Weagles over the top of him as well. Ball spills free again. Russell's handball, too slick, and ball still in dispute at 50 for St Albans, and the umpire is going to pay holding the ball, and a free kick to St Albans here, and that was against the MP, Tom Reynolds, and it will be a free kick for Dylan Johnston.
No, I'm going to save him. It was Bailey Ettridge.
Bailey Ettridge, yeah.
Oh, right, Bailey Ettridge, sorry. My apologies.
He's safe.
Save the MP. Johnston kick to the pocket. Oh, that's a tunnel. That should be a free kick against Scary. It is. And Hovey's actually hurt. He's landed awkwardly and will take a free kick. He's now going to get to his feet, but he was a little bit sore there for a moment. He's slow to his feet, the big fella, and this is a chance for 3 consecutive goals. This will make the margin 31. It won't change the result, but as Kirsch alluded to, they have fought the game out, at least the Super Saints. So you'll have a tidy Shangle to work with, Mitch Hovey. Not much exposed goal-kicking form for the big GFL. He's just kicked the one goal in his very short GFL career that's now at 13 games. It's on its way, and that's why we don't have much exposed form.
Wow.
He's missed that horribly to the right-hand side, and the margin is 36, and he kicked that with no confidence whatsoever.
If that was a horse form, you'd have written prefer to see.
Well and truly. Ball kick in, wide towards Jose, and he takes the mark at defensive 50 for Lara.
Prefer others.
Yeah,
About 19 of them. He goes out. Stone, Jordan in front of the best seats in the house thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Right at half back. You hear the effects. The Lara boys, they're calling for it short. Now they're 50. So Brock McDonald ran over the mark, said the umpire. So Geordie Stone's run away. He's running down the ground.
It's funny because Jordan Stone changed his mind 3 times as to where he was going. So he sort of
Could have been play on.
it's one of those.
So Stone has got it short to Gunther. Uncontested takes the mark, 55 from goal. Wants to drive it long. Oh, a terrible kick. Was partly smothered. Ball spills free. Coots gets back there to help out. Wrapped up. Not going anywhere. Van Doren with a crunching tackle held in. And we will have a ball up about 40 out from the Lara goal.
Not far from time on. 19 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Purdy got high against Elliott. The ball spilled out towards the side. Brogdon attacked it. Little don't argue on Harvey. And then sent a kick along the line to a one-on-one. Hovey, Tomicic. Hovey had to play spoiler and then went to find the ball at the front of the pack, but ran out of boundary room, and it went out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So young Tomicic here is nothing of him. But there's very much a lot of Sam De Koning about him. Wonder if they could develop into something that's a prototype of that. Ball back into play. Elliott will do the ruckwork front position. He went over his head with a wonderful tap down. Donegan a handball. Graham back to Donegan with a 1-2. You want to get back into his left boot. He'll kick on his right. Just sets the kick up to a one-on-one. Oh, coming across the front of the pack. Well done, Ettridge. Couldn't mark, but found it at ground level. Gave a handball to Skerry. Skerry with the outside of the right boot. Put it straight on the chest of Hovey.
Handball.
Who's marked. Now, based on what we saw earlier, he won't be having a shot at goal, so he just sets it up to the goal square. That actually floated back nicely, but it's off hands about 5 metres out and through for a rush behind, and the margin is 35. 4:10:34. Lara, 10-9-69. 20 minutes gone. We're into the final term of this clash from the Gordon Tafe Oval as the Cats prepare for win number 2 of 2022.
So the Cats going to bring it back in. Nobody stands the mark, so Tom Reynolds MP to Gunther. Perfect kick. Takes the mark at half back.
It's his 5th mark this quarter, Jace.
He's done well.
Seen the game out well.
He's got Aaron Stone short. He's got Robertson leading for him. He goes short up, though, and Cockrell takes it. Outside defensive 50. He chips it back to Weagle. He's got Tomicic at the top of the 10-metre square. He takes that mark, goes to the opposite side back pocket. So they've just moved it around defensive 50. The MP comes back to Tomicic. Still inside the 10-metre square. He was going to come broadcast side. He elects, though, to go back. And Tom Reynolds MP takes the mark. He goes over the top.
It's just still about 7 or 8 minutes left in this game.
A bit early to be doing this, isn't
I think
it? Just
so.
keep playing footy. Oh, kick dangerous now.
This is what happens
Yeah,
if you
he goes across.
go too early. And
Takes the mark and wants to play on quickly. He comes short to Hopper, who takes the mark.
Hopper in the left back pocket, the former captain. He goes short to
there
the
you go.
corridor,
That's
went
the
over the head of
possession.
Yelland, bounces into the path of Brogdon. Brogdon runs to 40 metres, pulls a kick around his left shoulder. That's not a bad effort, but it's missed to the right and through for a minor score. And the margin is 34. So they've had the better of the exchanges since they went to a 49-point lead, Lara. It's back to 34 points, but inaccuracy hurting them. 4-11-35, St Albans, Lara, 10-9-69.
8 possessions in their defensive 50 then, Jace, for a turnover that was inevitable, for a shot on goal that was nearly a goal.
Dan Weagle's had to get over the fence to get his own ball.
He's gone a long way.
He has gone a long ways.
He's in the netball court.
He's nearly had to jump over the netball court fence as well, I think, and get it.
And there are nets behind the goals.
There are. So.
Which are lower than the goalpost, by the way.
So just a break in play while we get the footy back. Dan Weagle's coming back over the fence without the football. It's gone. It must be in Buckley's car park.
I don't know where it is, but
It's run away.
Well, we can go around the grounds for
Yes.
Leopold Sporties while we wait. Grovedale 65, Leopold 49, Geelong West 86, Bell Park 66, and earlier today Newtown 131 defeated North Shore 72 for Leopold Sporties.
Weagle has the footy now in the 10 metre square to kick it back in. About short now, goes along towards Borchard and Day, and also Lenahan Cunningham. Borchard does the roving in the end, gives it to Day, who kicks it out wide. Stone, who was standing by himself with 30 metres in the clear, goes to Gunther. If it sits for him and he can run at half forward, he can pick it up, can he? Oh, he can now. A little bit of a goose step, right foot kick, goal! That's as easy as you like. Gunther kicks the goal, his second of the afternoon, and coast to coast for Lara. From Dan Weagle's kick in, they have kicked their 11th, 11-9-75, and they lead St Albans 4-12-36, and that is on the Apco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Well, they had all the eggs in one basket. Then St Albans, they'd pressed up the ground to try and keep it in there, probably forward 60, and they just got it out the backs. And Lara's with numbers, really.
Not the second time today Tommy Gunther's had an easy one, but made it look a little bit harder than what it should have been.
I think he might have been nervous about that in the first quarter, but his touch is a little bit better than the first quarter, and he's seen this last quarter out, as we mentioned before, really well. Tommy Gunther, he's really stood up.
That's 17 goals for the year from 15 games for Tommy Gunther.
Yeah, it's a really good effort for a kid.
He's their second leading goal kicker behind Mitch Day.
Yeah. For an under-18 player, he's done really well.
You'd think he'd be in discussion for Rookie of the Year.
Well, he'd have to be.
I reckon Sam Donegan might well be in that discussion as well.
Of course.
Chance for St Albans on the outer wing. The handball back in board for Brogden was okay. Brogden tried to take on the tackle of Jordan Stone, then took on a second tackle. Calls of running too far. Back with the flight, Ettridge couldn't mark for Lara at centre half back. Well, good tackle, good one. It looked one of those ones you don't like, but it was just a good, strong tackle as he brought his St Albans opponent to the ground, and that was Angus Evans.
It's a fine line, isn't it, Kingy? The sling to a really good tackle.
Yeah, it's all about technique.
Absolutely.
Elliott and Borchard. Borchard winning the tap this time. Chance to clear, and the kick from Connor Linehan. Cunningham bounces towards the wing. Waterson knocked it away from Gunther, but then ran into a tackle, gave a handball off to Boothie. Boothie with a kick now that finds Russell. Russell runs to 55 metres, lowered the eyes, wanted Hovey, didn't get it to him. Also sold Lamarki. Weagle got across, cut it off to Reynolds. Reynolds kick across the face of goal, and Tomacic is marked between the right hand behind and goalpost.
He goes short. It's okay. And mark has been taken by Yelland. Goes to the outer side. Oh, turnover though. Russell, finish it off with a goal. Deserves it. Right foot kick across the face of goal. Through for one behind. So 2 goals, 3. His personal tally. And 4-12-36 at Albans. Lara 11-9-75. We'll play 25 and a half minutes. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel.
Just going to put it out there. One more goal for St Albans, and the pendulum is on song.
Nice.
The kick in for Hopper is okay. That came from Ettridge. And he goes laterally now with the kick. And it's Yelland with it, top of his defensive goal square. He goes short, back to Cockrell. Cockrell's got about 20 from his defensive goal. They're just happy to hang on to the footy here, Lara, but they look to now get out of defensive 50. Sends it long. Days presented up and taken a good, strong mark. You've got to give Miller credit. Miller's fought hard this afternoon, giving away a bit of size in terms of both height and weight.
I like the fact he's stuck with him all day as well.
Yep. Day, right half back, and there's a bit going on off the footy. Which way is it going? It's going against Elliott to Borchard, who's not happy, Hayden Elliott, and Borchard with it at true centre wing. He goes short and wide, and it's with Gunther, who, as we've touched on, has a pretty good season in his first full year of actually it's his first year of GFL senior footy, full stop. Drives a kick towards half forward. Linehan Cunningham went early off the hands of the pack. Cockrell tight in the right forward pocket, pulls it back to the top of the square. Jose stretching out the one mitt and reeling it in to take a Hamlin hanger. Not a bad effort from Dylan Jose, and he'll have a shot at goal in the shadows of the final siren and a chance to push this margin out towards 45 points. Talking about goal kickers this year, Jose actually with the 15, he actually was equal with Gunther coming in, and this is actually to have him equal second in Lara's goal kicking. Give him 17 for the year. Kicked one in the first quarter and has kicked one here as well.
He has.
So they go to 12-9-81, the margin 45. St Albans are 4-12-36 in this final quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you. It's the Cats on their way to win number 2 of 2022.
I've had it on good authority as well that Tommy Gunther hasn't trained all week. He's been in bed sick all week. So it's a great effort to come out today and play the way he's played and finish the game off.
Any chance he could coach the forwards today rather than send you text messages all the time?
It wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
It was the forward line coach's wife.
Oh, very good. Who knows much more about everything than the forward line coach, so that's good.
Exactly. As they do, they know it all.
Hello, Hayley. How are you?
No, yeah, she does as well, yes.
Back to the middle.
Leopold back within 7 points of Grovedale.
Ooh. So back in the middle here, the Gordon Tafe oval. Hopper threw the ball out, got one high anyway, so we'll take a free kick against Elliott. He's had a dirty afternoon, Hayden Elliott, with free kicks and 50 for a little bit of speak, I think, there from Donegan. Yes, a little bit of dissent. And Hopper will bring the ball down to... That's a good 50, can I say? Get the measuring tape out. That's nice.
Holding 2.
Holding 2. And it will be Jordan Hopper with a kick from about 45 out, nearly directly in front. So for Lara's 13th this afternoon, he comes in. Right foot kick, keeps it low towards the East Tech end of the ground and kicks the goal. So his first, 13th for the Cats, 13-9-87. They lead St Albans 4-12-36 APCO. Cafe 24/7 K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
Oh, they're finishing the quarter the way they started, aren't they? They're full of run early and they're full of run at the end. And I think the wind's just gone out of the sails of St Albans right now. And Elliott was resigned to the fact that that wind has blown right away then. And yes, they were gallant, St Albans, there for a bit, but they haven't been in this game long enough to be competitive.
92-66, Geelong West lead Bell Park. Grovedale 65, Leopold 58. Earlier today, Newtown 131, North Shore 72. It's a good 59-point win there as Elliott wins a big tap there, rolls it towards centre-half forward, taken by Johnson to go back to Elliott, tucked it under his arm, had a bounce, ran to 48 metres, straightened up, sent it towards goal, won't have the carry. Tomachich back with the flight, taking the mark. It was good from Hayden Elliott, made the play, but he deserved to finish with a goal there, but couldn't. Tomachich across the face he goes into the right back pocket. Mark taken there by the MP Reynolds. Reynolds goes short, and Cockrell, who's been busy this afternoon with the footy. Yeah, he has. He's maybe Leopold Sporty's player of the day contender. High ball to half-back. Borchard on the juggle has taken a good mark at right half-back.
He's been terrific too.
So Borchard back to Hopper at centre half-back. Handball, 20 metres to Goodwin. In his 100th, goes with a right foot kick high. Jose from behind, worked his way to the front, kept his eye on the ball. Played on quickly. Out the back. Mitchie. Oh, he nearly fell over. Will it sit for him? He runs in. Siren doesn't count, will it? The umpire said no. The goal umpire picked the flags up straight away, so no score. And Lara 13-9-87 have defeated St Albans 4-12-36.
So a 51-point win for Lara over St Albans, their second win of the season, and unfortunately St Albans are resigned to going through another season winless, and that loss streak now extends out to 27 games. Haven't won since the final round of the 2019 season. We're going to send Kirsch off to the victorious rooms. He's going to head off. I'm going to head off as well. So Jason